Right, we've got today's guest is in the lobby.
Today's guest, yeah, we tried to have him on. We've tried to have him on before.
Hang on, let me just bring him in.
Bring him in before we power his life.
Let's just bring him in.
I'm in that mood today. The state of my hair, cause
the audio people don't care about that. It's fine, brother. You're talking about the state of your hair. Look at the state of my beard.
I think is that your audio that's cutting or mine?
Oh, it wasn't mine. Uh-oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, there should have been like a fanfare or something before you arrived there.
We got there, and he's back.
Well, everyone good, yeah?
DJ DONCH.
Look how smooth this guy is, man. It's like, yeah, playing it cool, you know. Cool, nah. Before we brought you in, we was reminiscing on the time we tried to get you on the podcast last time.
Wow. The thing is, the energy was sick, but the internet wasn't.
Yeah. That was super peak.
Yeah, I think that's when I was on wireless internet in the studio as well, innit? That was before I actually had everything hardwired in. So it's just
what actually happened that day. Dubl, your internet died, and then I was left with DONCH, and then I think DONCH died. not died like literally. I take that back. Oh my god.
But to be honest, the fact that you managed to keep me on for so long was amazing in itself, because obviously I was running off flipping the hotspot.
Wow. Dubl, don't laugh. I swear you've done that shit before. Dubl's laughing like he's not run hotspot bare times, you know.
I'm laughing because I think that same episode, I think I was running off the hotspot as well.
Oh wow. But you know it's bullshit, because you see, like, you assume where you're on good, where you have like a phone and you have a good internet package and you're in a central location.
Yeah. You
assume it would be better. It's not. Like, I live in Central. The internet's not better in Central. Like, so when I'm in London, it's not good, and when I'm in Birmingham, I don't live Central, but it's not good out in the countryside either. So it's just like, where is there good internet?
Yeah.
You'd think in 2021 when they can read your watch from the satellites. In fact, they've got technology now. They can basically read your thoughts from a satellite, innit? They can just zoom in on someone's head and know what they're thinking. You would just assume that phone coverage wouldn't be an issue. Like, no, I drive somewhere and I'm on the phone and it goes past a tree and the phone cuts out because the trees block the signal. 2021 so that we can actually do phone calls without interruption.
Bro, they're rolling out 5G in that now, and we can't even get a stable internet connection. Wagwan.
They didn't even figure 4G out before they moved on.
It's a myth.
My phone's never on 4G. It always just says 3G.
Because you live in the fucking sticks, bro.
No, it's not. It's because I've got a iPhone 6.
What?
6? Mine was 6, not 6S. 6.
Yeah, 6.
You man are moving crazy out here. Guy's got an iPhone 6 running hotspot.
Oh yeah, that's there.
Did the iPhone 6 even have a hotspot, bro?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it came in on the 4S or 4 something.
Oh my days.
But wait there. Have you kept that since the 6 came out, or did you buy it on a late one, just on a random pickup?
Oh no, I bought it late. I'm not a gadget boy, brother. I don't buy into I'm not spending £1,200 on a brand new iPhone 60 because it's got 84 cameras. Like, no. I'm not with that at all. I buy, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm not at the forefront of all this fashion and technology stuff at all. Does not interest me in the slightest. So, and this is the third. It's a 6S. Sorry, it wasn't a 6.
The horse funny, man.
This is
6S is acceptable. I have a 6S.
Yeah, 6S is the third 6S that I've had, because I broke it. So I just go on eBay and just buy another secondhand one. They're like £100, £100, and I've got a whole iPhone that does exactly what it needs to do.
I think one thing this last year has taught me is probably that, like, I am keeping this iPhone X for the foreseeable. All this gadget stuff, man. Bro, I'm telling you, man.
Same.
This last year, being out of work, the club's being shot, everything else, all the income getting chopped. Like, I've definitely learned about money management. Like, I don't know, man. I took that shit for granted before.
Oh, for
Like,
sure, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
You know what I mean? You don't expect a pandemic to come and hit you in the face and like lock off the whole thing. So for me, I'm like, yeah, I mean, DJ is nice. The money keeps coming in. You got your disposable income there. Man will buy the new Pioneer mixer, the new phone, the new gadget. Now, bruv, I ain't buying nothing now, mate. I am gonna be the stingiest DJ. Don't ask me for nothing, bruv. I'm skint now, man. That's it. I'm out, bruv. I'm out. Anyway.
Oh, but one good thing to do with the pandemic, though, so you see that I've replaced this phone so many times. I actually, at the start of the pandemic, busted the screen on the phone, and instead of replacing it, I learned to replace the screen myself.
I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the tactic I need to learn still. Yeah, that's useful.
Yeah, but I think, was it last week or the week before, we were talking about how YouTube is like the injection of education. Now, if you want to learn something quick, go on YouTube.
Oh
right?
my God.
Right. I learned to replace iPhone screens it took me like 30 minutes the first time. Right, here's the truth. So I got a screen from eBay.
What a way to start the pod.
I got a screen from eBay. It was like £20. Replaced it myself in about half an hour. The next day, dropped my phone, smashed the screen.
Oh, wow.
So I replaced it again, and it cost me £40 in total because it was 2 screens. Whereas before, what are those shops charging? Like £60, £70 for a screen replacement?
60 to 100 sometimes?
Yeah, that shit's expensive,
there you go.
man.
Yeah.
And especially it depends on how new the device is. So if you used to get like an iPhone 8 upwards, minimum 100.
Yeah, definitely. It's like
these X screens, it's like edge to edge, innit? So like, I think it's a bit more. I think it's a bit more techie in regards to like fixing them and whatnot. I've never broken an iPhone.
Touch wood.
Touch wood. Let's not touch wood.
You know the worst thing is most of my phones break in my sleep. So like I got my phone repaired on insurance in quarantine, and then
this guy, somebody's asleep. You know what the fuck you doing in your sleep, bro?
Now obviously you see the radiator, right? It's right next to my bed, and obviously if I turn and like you just on your phone at night, just like the pillow.
Yeah.
And then it just falls on the side of the bed, and then these phones. They say they're durable. All it takes is a knock on the side, and then that little crack. And then once that little crack happens,
eats through the thing. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, you go to sleep on the phone.
I do that. Bro.
I put podcasts on while I'm sleeping, man. Like it's just like I can't really like. It's either TV, movie, or some kind of audio situation going on.
Right.
Bro, I'm so glad this guy said this. Yeah, my missus thinks I'm weird. I can't sleep in silence.
Nah.
I need something to help me sleep, whether it's leaving the TV on in the background or a podcast, or I don't think I can really listen to music because that'll just get me lit and want to get out of bed.
You start thinking of ideas for mixes and shit. I could do something sick with this.
Yep.
No, I'm glad I'm not alone on that one. I know Dubl turns he locks his WhatsApp off at a certain time, and if I message him in the evening, I'll just get that one tick.
Yep.
I mean, I know Dubl's out the game.
Off the radar, mate.
You know mine's never on.
Huh?
My WhatsApp's never on.
For real?
Yeah, that's why it takes so long to reply sometimes. Just that it took me a long time to realize that people use WhatsApp as a means of contact and not social media.
Real talk.
So it's like an invested effort that sometimes I forget. It's like, someone might hit me up on WhatsApp because obviously texts show up. So I don't get the notification on WhatsApp unless I go in the app.
Yeah, same.
Because if you're in too many groups.
Yep.
So like if I leave it on, like there's times I've come in, it's like 1,000 notifications in one group, 500 another group, because I'm in very different groups to like cousins and like other DJs and flipping school friends, and it's like I'm like this. I don't need these notifications. Turn it off.
The DJ groups are the worst, bro, man. Everyone, you know what DJs are like? We love to talk, innit? Man will go, if you don't go in the group for an hour, 2,724 and all sorts of links, Twitch promo, catch me on streaming live over here, new drop on Mixcloud, follow my Instagram.
Facts.
Fucking hell.
That explains so much as well why you'll disappear in the DJ groups, and then like one day that you'll just address like 8 different things. Boom, 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 like your responses just go bang, 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 like, there's Donch.
Yeah, but I'm not even ignoring, it's literally just in and out. Sometimes I even star messages because I'm like, let me save this because I know that if I start this conversation now, because sometimes it's like you reply to a whole of messages and you're gonna get double back. So you might as well just be ready to talk when you're ready to talk.
I hear that. I hear that. One place where I feel like Donch is always ready to talk, is on Twitter. Donch loves a tweet, innit? We gotta talk. Your Twitter account is super sick, by the way. I love your tweets, bro.
Boy, I'll be back soon, man. At this moment in time, I ain't really got much to say, but in general,
I hear that.
Yeah, I apply the same energy to Twitter as I do in real life. Like, I don't mind a good conversation. I was similar on Facebook, but yeah, man. Twitter's what you make it, man. Twitter's what you make it.
I always say this. I still feel like Twitter is the leading social media app for me personally.
Definitely.
Like, I just feel like anyone can go on Instagram and post pretty pictures, but on Twitter, you've actually got to say stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nowhere you can't hide on Twitter, innit? Like, you got to speak your thoughts. Like, on Instagram, you can go and post a fucking line from Amigos song with your nice outfit on. And it's getting lit. Do you know what I mean? Like, on Twitter, I feel like you've really got to engage and you can really get to know people's personalities on them. And I think Twitter is the latest app. I think I've been on there I think I got my 12-year anniversary last week. I got an email. I got an email off Twitter saying on the platform.
You were early boy.
early boy, man. 12 years. I think the app's only like 13 or 14 years old. So
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I hopped on there similar. Well, definitely not similar time. Probably like 2012. But when I was at uni, I hopped on there, but it didn't make sense, man. Because it's just like, if you don't get it at first. Like, if you're not following anyone, it's kind of just like, yo, like, what is this? Like, what am I doing? Like, so a couple of my friends were on there and I didn't get it. And then I left it alone for like 3 years. And then I come back like 2014, 2015, and I was just like, oh shit. So this is what it is. Follow this account. At this person, just be free and just talk shit. Well, not talk shit, but some people talk shit, but just be free, man. Like,
yeah, I do. I talk a lot of shit on Twitter sometimes.
Oh. Now your tweets are decent, Dubl, man. You don't tweet as much, but when you do, it's good quality. I waffle pure shit on there, bro. So
you always tweet about football. Half the time I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
You're not a football man?
Nah, bro.
Nah, bro.
Hey, fuck football, man.
What, are you the same, Donch?
Bro, you know the worst thing is, if you ask me my team, I might tell you Manchester United, but
come on, that's all I need to hear. Cause
if you ask me, Carl, from young, that's what I was on, and my brothers and sisters, that's all they fuck with. But me,
okay.
Pay attention to football? Nah. I haven't watched a match probably ever.
Wow. even Dubl's watched the footy match.
Like, for me,
when I was in primary school, I used to support football teams. That's why.
Yeah, similar time for me, but for me, yeah, now football's too long, man. Like, there's not enough goals being scored, man. There's not enough action.
No, I bet you watch basketball, innit? A guy said not enough goals are being scored. My mum wants a basket every fucking 15 seconds.
I don't, but I do like basketball. So, like, basketball looks sick. If I'm going to watch a game, I can't lie, it'll probably be basketball still. Like, basketball looks, yeah.
That's fair. I feel like the football stuff, yeah, it's gone a bit too far on my Twitter. I was sat there the other night and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just stop pissing everybody off on my football tweets. Because I just constantly, like, fish for Arsenal fans.
This is the thing I don't get about fans,
football. But obviously I'm a DJ, innit? So I'm like, how far do I take it? And then my missus is like, just set up another account. Just take your football stuff over there. Let that do its thing. And then you can just do your DJ thing like you normally do anyway. I was like, oh.
Slightly.
Bro, football fans get so emotionally invested. I'm like, bruv, it's really not that deep. I've got a friend of mine.
It is that deep.
No, it's really not. Very good friend of mine's a Chelsea fan, but like he's a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, they're the worst fans in the country.
Listen, it's really bad. We were in a pub one time, and it was a really important match, and Chelsea were playing someone. I wasn't really paying much attention, but my friends were watching it, and there was a man with his two sons in the pub with t-shirts on for the other team that was spanking Chelsea. And my friend was getting so wound up with the match and so aggressive that at half time, the man got up and left the pub with his two sons.
Yeah, that's
they just left halfway through the match. I was like, bruv, like, let's have some fun and bond with his two sons over football at the pub. And they were young boys as well, like probably like 11 or 12 years old. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, It's a football match.
I can't explain
Like,
it to
really?
you, man. I can't explain it to you, like, because you guys don't like football, innit? It's, bro, football is like people's lives, man. For some
I know,
people,
but it's
like
mad.
it can be
How does it become your life?
it can be that deep. Like, I
Wild,
don't know,
bro.
man. Like it's well, I grew up in Old Trafford, so like being around United and being around football was just ingrained in me from a child. So it just kind of becomes part of your life, man. I can't explain it. Like it's part of the culture of it all. I always used to kick ball, and then just being a local Old Trafford lad, it just kind of happened, man. No one in my family liked football. I was the first one. I was the first one to really pick it. Like I said, good. This guy, get in the bin.
I'm on it. I'm a good goalkeeper, to be honest. But that's
I'm a good goalkeeper. Yeah, so I got to put them hands to use, innit, Donch? See them quick hands, and he's doing his DJ videos, man. Man, I'll be saving all the shots. Anyway, enough about football. This is a DJ podcast. Let's not go into that, shall we?
Yeah, football's dead. I tell you, the only good thing about football is David De Gea. Donch, on Twitter and in WhatsApps, why is everything always in capital letters?
That's not my question, man.
You know the worst thing
is that a purpose? Is that done on purpose, brother? Or do you just leave the caps on?
Okay, so I'm gonna clarify this. So it's funny because
Oh no!
No.
I'll tell you the truth. Yeah.
Hold on.
It's
Right, are you back? Are you back? Start again.
Yeah.
anyway, I didn't.
Oh my god! If this dies for the second time again, bro.
Did it? Did it? No. We're good. The internet's stronger than my. Is it? Am I here?
Yes,
Yeah,
you're back.
You're back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Sorry, because
It's all good.
it was strong on my side. So, basically, speaking of Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So
Okay, so
we need to know about the capital letters.
Yes. So it's actually started on Twitter, funny enough. So obviously, one of my boys types in capitals all of the time, like, and I was just like, "Why do you do that?" Right? And then he was just like, "Bro, it's just clarity, man. It makes sense." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then sometimes randomly, you know, when you just write a message and it just doesn't look right in flipping lowercase, yeah.
Go on. This is mad, but I'm here for it. Go on.
It's very simple. Have you ever? Okay, so I give you an example. When you write your DJ name, do you write in lowercase or capitals?
That's true.
No, mine's in capitals.
So it just came out. Go on.
That's just something I've never ever thought about. I don't write my DJ name in capitals or lowercase. I don't even actually know.
Yeah.
Bit of both.
Anyway. Mine's capitals, but my logo is all lowercase.
Oh, so
Yeah.
is it?
But the reason, is the reason I'll write it either all in lowercase or all in capitals is because there was a huge phase where people were calling me Dubl. And I hate it because it's not Dubl. It's double. It's my fault that it looks like Dubl. I'm aware. But yeah, so I had to make sure that all the letters look the same. So the L wasn't emphasized anyway. That's why. But yeah, sorry, carry on, bro.
Okay, so basically, time after time, you write bits in capitals, bits in single. And I was just like, yo, this sentence don't look right unless it's in capital. So I said, let me write in capitals. It's like, yeah, that looks better. And that's literally all it was. But then when I started writing in capitals, certain people say, like, why are you shouting? I'm just like, why am I shouting? I'm not shouting. Why would I shout? And then I shit you not. Like, obviously, like I got a decent grade in English. I got a B in English, but I may have missed that class where I paid attention in terms of when people said, hey, when you write capital letters, it implies da 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 and elevated da 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 da. So when I'm speaking to people, it's like, no, like when you write capitals, it means shouting. I'm just like, but when people write capitals to me, I don't think they're shouting. I just feel like they're just trying to be clear, like clarity in it. I was like, nah, it means shouting. I'm just like, well, I'm not shouting. And then people started getting annoyed about it, but then how annoyed and then how annoyed people got, it just didn't make sense to me. So I was just like, yo, it's like, so what is it's like I write in my groups, it's like, yo, can you stop writing capitals? It's giving me anxiety. I'm like, text give you anxiety. I was like,
yeah,
that's weird. And then this is why I was just like, yeah, like for me, it just feels like I'm writing clear. And then I remember I got into one little back and forth on Twitter one time. And then someone's just like, oh, yo, he's shouting, he's really going for it, he's writing capitals. I'm just like, no, I'm not. I'm just writing capitals. I'm not really going for it. What would make you think that? And it's almost told me, it's like, yo, are you good? You're writing the capitals, bro. Like, yeah, I just want to see if he was okay. And then I started to realize, yo, the world must be weird because, bro, I'm just writing capital because it just looks clear to me. Like, and boy,
that's fair. That's fair. It's not even that deep,
man.
then, is it? It's not even that deep, then, really, is it? When you break it down. To be fair,
really
the tweets stand
like,
out, bro. It's a good way to be seen. Like, if you want man to read your tweets, I ain't never missing yours, bro. Your shit will be up in the timeline, like, pow.
Clarity, and then there came a point where was like, yo, if you keep typing in capitals, I'm gonna mute you. I was like, if you're gonna mute me, you probably don't care what I have to say, so go ahead. Yeah, I'll just keep writing capitals.
You can't be muting Donch, mate. Neck. That's like you're like Twitter royalty now, bruv.
Small.
How have you been anyway, Donch, man? How's the last year been for you, man? Like, what's been going on? Obviously, pandemania, and everything else. It's been a bit of an emotional time for us DJs. How's tricks?
Boy, that's a long conversation, boy.
Yeah, it's just
on the podcast.
Yeah, we won't go too deep. It's been a mad one, bro.
The short but long answer is it's been hella educational. You kind of realize exactly where things are. Like, obviously, DJ work was going great, but when the world stops, it's just like, yo, what I want now? Like, are you gonna hop on the online stuff? Are you gonna duck out and get a job? Are you gonna wait it out? And then you start to realize that you have more than enough time to think, yeah, damn, like there's better stuff I didn't do, I should have done, shoulda, coulda, woulda, blah blah. But it's just been a serious learning curve, man. I retreated back to Birmingham, so I don't know if you know that's where I'm originally from.
Okay, so you're back in Brum now, yeah?
Yeah. My place is still there in London, but I haven't been. I came back 2 weeks ago for a random couple events. So I was at like Box Park and they did one thing for Catfish, and then come back. And since before then, I haven't been in London since November.
Okay.
Before that, July. So, and then before that, literally lockdown. So for me, I would say lockdown's been the wake up call that I needed.
Okay.
Because the way DJing was going, when you want to play the longevity, sometimes you just get lost in the day-to-day and emotions, and you don't really get the time to kind of look at your situation from the outside in.
Real talk. Yeah, that's real talk still.
So yeah, man. Like just been really planning for the future and plotting. Like, I'm not a radio person, so consistently trying to aim for radio shows. Streaming wasn't really 100% my thing, but at the same time, it's a necessity. So just trying to find out what works for me and kind of where I fit in. Like, and man's a club man, I do well in the clubs.
He's gone.
He's gone again.
I think he's actually gone, hasn't he? Oh, it's the start.
No, gone.
Oh, he's back. He's
back. There. Yeah, you froze. You froze for a minute.
You know what's so mad when you man say I'm gone?
Are you still there on your end?
Yeah, like you're 100% HD. Like nothing's going on. Are you sure it's not you man's connection?
It's not me, mate. I'm on super extra fiber optic.
Yo, you want to see what I'm wired in with?
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's me.
Shit. Oh, I don't even know how much we missed them, but yeah, you froze for like 2 seconds.
What was the last thing I said?
You said about streaming is essential, so you're looking into that.
Yeah,
And then
you mentioned the radio as well.
Yeah, sometimes I think. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, I kind of feel the same way. Like this last year, it definitely allows you to realign and retune into what's actually going on in it. We all get lost in that day before lockdown. Everyone's just 100 mile an hour, bruv, like gig after gig after gig. What's next? Flipping new mix, new show, new this, and you don't really sit down and figure out you don't really sit down and take in what's really going on out here. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of, I don't know, man. I can relate to you on that one, bruv. It felt like a bit of a crossroads.
No, for sure, for
start.
100%.
Like, is this it? Is this the end now? Like what? Like everything I've put my life into, like this is all I've done since college, like even high school. So I've never.
So this is the ice age, yo.
Bro, that's how it felt. Like obviously now you can, in hindsight, you can look back and obviously we're starting to see like the back end of it and bars and everything reopening. But at the start, the first month or two, I'm like, bro, yeah, I was super shocked, mate. I'm like, this is the end.
And for me, I was trying to explain to people how serious this is. So like, for me, a lot of people don't know I've been DJing a lot longer than people. Well, some people know, but a lot longer than you would think. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm not that old, so what, like 29 now, yeah. But I've been DJing for like 15 years, nearly.
Okay, mad.
So like, you on?
I was gonna say, so you was like a high school DJ when you first picked up the. Sick.
So I started at my youth club, started doing the house parties, then like 17, 18, started getting the little residencies in Birmingham, bits and bobs, nothing too serious, then went to uni and carried on. And I haven't stopped since. But when I look at then and now, it wasn't until like say 2015, 2016 where I've started taking it serious. And then between then and now, it's kind of like I've built a situation where, yo, this is a career, this isn't just a hobby anymore. And the world is, nah, this career, you at home now.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just have to figure things out.
Oh, fucking hell, that got deep quick, that, didn't it? Fucking hell.
You know what's mad though is what I noticed.
It's true, man. It's true.
A lot of DJ friends that I have that don't have kids were the ones that were suddenly kind of chucked into the abyss, and it was like, oh shit, this is really all over. Like, see, for me, at first I enjoyed the time off because I was just working so relentlessly hard up until the pandemic started. So I actually enjoyed the first few weeks when I didn't have to go to work and I didn't have to do anything. I'm good with money, so the money was there in my savings anyway. So it's like, oh, well, the government says it's going to be 3. I've got more than enough money to get me through 3 weeks easily. So let's just enjoy the time off. And obviously my son was out of school. So then it was like, okay, well, I just focus on homeschooling. And then the weather was beautiful. I'm lucky enough to have a decent garden. So it was like, as soon as we finished the homeschooling, me and my son
a decent garden in London.
Say that again. No, I'm in Kent. I'm not in London.
He's in Brighton.
Oh shit! Okay.
I'm not in Brighton. I'm in Kent.
He's related to that new Brighton rapper.
RD. But yeah, so I'm just out in the garden after the homeschooling finished. I'm out kicking the ball around. I hate football, but I'm kicking the ball around with my son and boxing with my son, and that was it. Like, we're just having fun. So my mind was occupied. The void that opened up with work being taken away was immediately filled with, right, okay, well, my son's at home. I need to be like a responsible adult. So get into this gear. Do you know what I mean? So, but I find like a lot of people that didn't have the extra dependence or extra responsibility up there with like just this emptiness now. Like, shit, I've got no work. DJing's illegal, like, mad.
100%. Same with me. A lot of my brothers that have kids, like, they were just like, yo, DJ is done. It's time to get to work. I got my little side job, gonna get my little night shift. I've got more time to spend with my kid, reveling it. But for me, I was just like, nah, this was it for me, boy. I don't have no family and kids.
Well, this is the thing, man. Like, I don't have no kids, and I don't really get on with my family too much. So like, and DJing in itself, it's a bit of a lonely job anyway. You're like on all the nights when everyone goes out partying, you're having to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Sundays, whichever, and then all the gigs kind of get pulled. No one's working, but you spend all this time working the nights when everyone normally goes out. Now all of a sudden you're at home on your ones. Like, bro, it's been tough, man. It's been. I've obviously lived with a missus, but she was still working and then was put on furlough eventually. But yeah, I can hear the people with children kind of have something to grasp and still focus on in it and keep it moving. But for us guys, it's been a long ass year, man. But yeah, have you been doing any gigs recently, Donch? You say you just did a couple recently, or has Dubl died as well now?
So
What is
key
going
for
on
me,
here?
I'm still here though, right?
Yeah, you're still here, brother.
I'm still here, right?
I think Dubl's disappeared now. Fuck you know, this is not going well today. This Dubl.
Oh, he's actually. Wow.
It's all good. We carry on without him.
Wait, okay.
We don't need him.
So so I don't know how often you kind of come down here, right? Well, London. Then. So do you know at Box Park?
Yeah. I think my friend Kennedy plays at one of them sometimes. Kennedy Taylor.
Sounds somewhat familiar.
Yeah, she's a blonde female. She does.
Do you know which one? Do you know which one she plays? She does what?
She does a show on Foundation FM with all that female-led station.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know about Foundation FM. Okay, she's more than likely at Shoreditch then. Or
How many box parks are there? Is there 2 or 3?
Three.
Oh, you guys are so nice down there, man. We have no venues like this in it, so
there'll probably be one in you're in soon, you know.
I hope we need it, bro, desperately. Like we're just short on venues when it comes to this stuff. Like places are opening now, and Liverpool and some of the surrounding areas, they got loads of outdoor venues. Manny hardly has any, so a lot of the DJs still aren't out working yet.
So just before I got into my one, apparently they was meant to open Box Park in Birmingham, not in Croydon. So
Okay.
I'm in the Croydon one, but I kind of hop around every now and then. So I'm in the Shoreditch one sometimes, Wembley sometimes, but as of recently, I've been mainly in the Croydon one. But lucky for them, in terms of gigs, because they're like an outdoor, indoor venue, but they have like food, barbershops, clothing stores, their restrictions, they're usually the very last to go. So if clubs go, bars go, they're still open as long as restaurants are still open.
Wow. Okay.
So in terms of work, I had a bit of work in November, December, and then throughout summer I was good. And I was there 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
So it's like in and out, but it's still on like COVID restrictions. So just imagine like a 2,000 capacity venue, yeah? But they have like a small bar, and then in the small bar is usually it like top tier sound system, bar at the back, say about 300 people. That's usually where they run their club nights. So it runs till like 1 a.m.
Okay.
But since COVID, they're doing it in the main space. So you're playing to like 1,000 people just sitting down, eating their food, lunch, little vibe, day party kind of vibes.
Are they all kind of the same as what I've seen on the pictures, where it's the long tables and everyone's just kind of sat out eating?
Nah, that's Croydon. That's
right.
So like the Croydon one, the Croydon Wembley. So it's the same situation, but the Shoreditch one is sectioned. So there'll be like a section of tables here, then a DJ, then an alleyway, then a section of tables there, a section of tables there. Whereas the Croydon and Wembley one is a DJ and literally a complete open space of like 1,000 to 1,500 people of tables.
Mad.
So you're playing. So it'd be like you're playing for like some. You see like Summer Jam or something.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, a complete outdoor space. So if you're playing for there and they've got the system turned up, it can be a vibe. But because of COVID restrictions, it's like people are not allowed to leave their tables. So it's like it's a vibe, but it's not 100%. It's only a vibe when they open up. So like Capital Extra have done a few stuff there with like Tim Westwood and such, and those day parties have been sick, but they haven't happened since before pre-corona.
Okay. But you know, all this restriction stuff, like we tapped into it and done a brunch last year. I just couldn't get into the vibe, man. I just couldn't.
Facts.
I can't do it. Obviously, I'm grateful to be out playing music and making money again and doing what I do, but the sitting down stuff, my homies getting showered at every 2 minutes because they're dancing too much, or like, I don't like it, man. I hate this shit, bro. I just want to I want people to have fun again, innit? We need to bring back the dance, but
Facts.
I won't be touching any more socially distanced events, mate. Like, I won't be throwing any personally. Like, yeah.
Funny you say this because literally, when quarantine was at its heat last year, when summer did peer in around July, and there was like a couple venues open, and like people hit me up like, "Yo, even now, like now that borders are somewhat open, and then there's some kind of potential." People are like, "Oh, yo, like walking with the parties." I'm like, I can't lie to you. It sounds very like flipping like elitist, but I'm just like, yo, I ain't trying to do no parties until people can party. Like, I know what I can do with an open club and a slapping sound system. Until you give me that, and I'll kind of do what I need to survive. But you won't see me hosting any of my events. If I attach my name to something, it's gonna be a party that's going up.
I hear that. This is the thing, man. Especially with the way you flex on your sets, bro. That shit will just be a waste if every man's got to sit down. You got Donch at the front doing a madness. Fucking everyone's just sat there like this.
Everyone's just sat down eating their brunch.
I feel like when I play these gigs now, like I have to hold back a little bit.
For sure. I'm in gear one.
I feel like I can't flex now. Like,
for sure, I'm in gear one, bro. It's just like when I'm at a lot of these day party things, it's like until until I get the signal that you lot can stand up and be free. Like no one ain't come out their house to feel like they need to come sit down. And I got a sofa in the living room, and that's where I sit down. I don't sit down in venues where music's playing loud.
I hear that.
The only thing I did like about it, doing the couple of events that I did do with all this sit down stuff, is, and I think I said this before on another episode, playing all the big popular tunes that everyone can not sing and not dance to, but also just being able to chuck in a couple of fillers that might not work in the club, but you can't clear the dance floor with them because there's no dance floor. Do you know what I mean? Just you can chuck in some vibey tunes.
It's less pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's less, but like you don't have the pressure of making sure the dance floor is like bumping. Constant. Exactly. Like for me, when I'm playing a packed out club, if the dance floor goes flat for 15 seconds, I'm hurting inside a little bit.
I can't relate, mate. It doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, because you only play to sweaty students that have had half an ounce of cocaine.
For fuck's sake!
I've seen your dances, bruv. Them man just be going. You'll be dropping them drum and bass bangers and that, innit?
Oh, you came to the Tuesday night that I did.
Yeah, that was different, bro. That was like apocalypse.
Yeah, that was a weighty Tuesday night though. That was good fun. It was one of the best student nights.
Anyway, back to my point.
Yeah,
it's just less pressure in it. It's less pressure. You can put your fillers in and you can approach your sets a little bit different, man. You don't have to worry about 500 man on the floor.
Yeah,
jumping on each other.
It allows you to test the waters as well, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Less, no more sandwich technique. You actually get to just play a couple bits.
That's the thing. You can just fling in a couple of good records. Ones that like, and I did it. I did probably it's probably like a month ago now. I did like a brunch event in Southampton, and there was a couple of tunes that, if it was a club event, I probably wouldn't have been as relaxed about playing it when I did. Do you know what I mean? Like I would have done the sandwich technique or something. But there was just a couple of records I just flung in that I was just happy to. No one's leaving, bro. They've all paid to come in. They're sat down eating their food, vibing. So I just chuck it in.
You played. How did that outdoor one you went to last week? Is Donch still with us?
No.
Yes,
he's back.
Yes, he's back.
I wasn't even going for that long, right?
Nah, you good, man. You good. We know Dubl story was boring, but shit.
Southampton.
It's cut man off. Man just ducked out like that, you know. Wow. Yeah, where was you then, Dubl? What was? It's all good. It's all good.
No, I'd finished what I was saying anyway.
Anyway, that was my point. Anyway, it's just less pressure in it. Even though the gigs are a little bit sticky at the minute. You know what I mean? But we're out playing again. It's looking like the no restriction stuff's going to hit, going off what Boris was saying yesterday. So it's maybe, 21st of June? Was it? Is that the date?
What's the update?
He said something yesterday saying it's looking like this new variant stuff is not going to slow down and hinder any of the dates that are set. So, I'm booked on that Monday, you know.
Yeah, same.
I'm with that week still, so same situation. Wednesday, from Wednesday? Yeah, so
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be exciting. I actually lost 2 of my residencies because the clubs didn't reopen after lockdown. So that is a bit of a killer. But yeah, man.
Shit.
Yeah, then yeah, man.
Yeah, you know the biggest thing is, sorry to cut you. I was trying to explain this to people. Like some people try and like, it's like, oh no, like don't worry, things will be better. I'm just like, yo, I don't think you get it. Some venues they ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Like you know when you just know what's coming when there's a prolonged period of just no work, and people that are like in this industry but they're not on the DJ side, and some people that are even like on the DJ side but they haven't been in it for years deep. I've seen venues closed just on a normal. You think venues can survive something like this?
Bro, this is the thing, man. You see these men that are rammed on a Friday and a Saturday, and then they're closed all week. And then 6 months down the line, they don't open again. How can you stay closed for a year, 15 months, and you still got to pay your rent and your business rates? And
well, I lost my Friday night because the venue shut down, and it was my favorite night of the week as well. It was the sickest event. Like, it was so much fun. But yeah, it's gone. So no Fridays. But a lot of people don't really understand, because people say to me like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Like, you're a sick DJ. Like, you'll just get another Friday night like that." And it's like, I don't think you quite understand.
I wish it was
how
that
this
easy.
Works. Like the fact that I'm a sick DJ actually has nothing to do with the fact that I've got club bookings, because majority of the clubs don't give a fuck if I'm a sick DJ or not. Like, that's an added bonus that I'm a sick DJ.
This is the thing. The clubs rarely care anymore about the quality of the DJ. Obviously, there is still a handful out there that do, and there is still a handful of promoters that do, but the majority of them give a fuck.
I think generally speaking,
like you just said,
no.
Going off what you just said then, like,
yeah, I think generally speaking, no. There are still a handful of clubs that, down to the managers, do put a lot of respect on the DJ's name. And these are the clubs that will never put in the disrespectful fees. They will never try any of the fucked up shit that a lot of the other clubs will try with a DJ, and everything's held in the highest regard. Do you know what I mean? And then there's a middle ground. There's certain clubs that think they care about the DJ, but really their main angle is business. So they kind of think that we care about the DJ, we look after the DJ, but also here's £100 for 18 hours set. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, the middle ground where they think they do, but actually from a DJ perspective, no, they don't.
See, I'm in a slightly different avenue, because a lot of the work I do is more promoter based as opposed to club based. So I only literally have one situation, which is Box Park, as I was saying earlier, where that's club, where it's like I'm in house with the venue. Like they don't care whether I bring people or not. They bring the traffic. They make their money off their bar. My fee doesn't change. The money's good and it's consistent. That's the only situation. Outside of that, 90% of the work I get is either like random stuff, like a random industry party here, a random pop-up event there, random club night here. And yeah, my situation is more with promoters. And it's a hard battle when you're working solely with promoters, because like, yeah, some are clued up, some aren't. So yeah,
that's it. Nail on the head, man. You get the super professional ones who are on job and get it. They get it from the DJ side. They get it on the promoter side. But then you get, Manchester is full of these cowboy promoters, by the way. I'm not even going to start dropping names.
I don't think it's Manchester, bro. I think it's a city thing.
Yeah.
Big cities, not just Manchester. Like I've experienced it in London. I've experienced it in Birmingham. Like you're saying it happens in Manchester. Like I see it everywhere, bro. There's promoters, and again, they're the ones that the category of DJ, of club managers and club owners, sorry, that I just mentioned, that sort of think they care about the DJ, but really it's a numbers game for them as well. That's what these promoters, like the shiesty ones, are like.
I get it. It's a numbers game though. Like, but you can go about your business in the right way and still be about your numbers.
You see what the problem with the numbers? So go on, Dubl.
No, go on.
You see the problem with the numbers game is, for me now, is we're in a world where it's dictated off unquantifiable factors, right? So it's just like you could go offline, right? But the promoter, this is why I say promote. I work with promoters that get it and some that don't. It's just like, I've done my own parties. I don't do them consistently because I didn't start DJing because I wanted to get into parties. I actually started DJing because I was producing first. Like, I used to make bassline, grime shit. I was saying this to you lot. Last time we
Yeah. This is the last pod, man. It was about to get interesting, you know. We're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to that.
This is it. So yeah, I started getting into DJing because of that. So I didn't get into like hosting parties. It's just me, as I'm getting to an adult, I understand the value of doing events and event brands and such, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I work with certain promoters, it's just like, yo, like, you know, I've done parties where I've pulled in 500 people, I've pulled in 300 people, I've pulled in 400 people off me and my brethren. Of like I can get people in the room. So when you're doing the whole Instagram follower thing, like, I can tell you personally, some of the people that you're booking are followers, they can't fill up a room like me.
Mad.
So and it's only because I have the experience in terms of knowing events work, and people mess with me on the DJing. So sometimes you see followers and you be like, oh, he's got 50,000, he's got 30,000. I'm just like, bro, I've got 2,000, and all of these, majority of them man are coming. Like, the person you're looking at, some of these people aren't even in England. So it's just like, promoters just need to pay attention on, like, yo, this person does what they say. But some of the people don't even know that at house parties. I'm just like, and then when you're doing the battle of, I'm booking this person, this is the fee and this is the headline, I'm just like, yo, so you're telling me you're booking me for a club night, not an industry event, not not some fashion gig, not like a family christening. You're booking me for a club night. So you want someone that is certified at doing well in the club. That's one, right? You want someone that's certified in the club. You don't know that my club nights are just as big as yours, but I just don't focus on them. So you're kind of basing things off just online, and then yeah, this is why the internet game is so fucked. And promoters, shout out to promoters that just aren't dependent on DJ lineups, and they just bring the crowd because people are invested in events. Those are the best events I've done. Any event where it's just like, I go to this event because I mess with this event, not necessarily the lineup.
I hear that. This is the thing. I feel like the brand that we did the same with Jamming Manny. We didn't focus on DJs. We focused on building a brand that people just believed and bought into, and that was where the vibe was. They were, and we wouldn't book headlines. We would book a dope resident from Leeds, or a dope resident from Liverpool, or like a double, or we weren't going for the headlines. We were just bringing people that we knew would just bring the vibe and would handle our crowd, and like people would come regardless of who the DJ was, because they knew what they were getting. What I mean, it's whatever's on the tin is what they're going to get when they step inside the dance. And it's about quality of followers as well, bro. You know, you just saying then, you saying 2,000 followers, or a dude that's got 15,000, but 14,500 of them might not be engaging. You might have 2,000, but you know, 1,500 of them are going to show out at the club.
This is it, man.
The internet is it's messy, man. It's more messier than ever at the minute, especially the numbers. The numbers thing runs. The numbers run everything right now. It's not a good look.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Going off the metrics is weird, because it's like you say, bro, you could even imagine you had a local DJ who on his Instagram had 300 followers. Do you know what I mean? Like just 300 people. If you're in a nice small club, or let's just say 500 people, for example, it sounds like a nicer number. 500 people on this local DJ's Instagram. But then you look at it, people will look at it and judge and be like, oh, it's only 500. But what if every single one of those 500 people will buy tickets because that's their boy, and they're coming out because he's the local guy? Then you've got 500 locals in your club. Like, but
I've had...
No, I was going to say, but most people, they get skipped over because of the metrics, because it doesn't look great. Oh, he's only got 500.
I've had people that I work with now, that I'm cool with now, that have openly told me when they first met me in the beginning, it's just like, I wasn't sure if I was going to book you because the followers weren't really saying anything. And then there was someone
actually said that to you,
yeah.
Whoa,
these
lot don't care no more, innit? Wow.
Yeah. It was just like, the followers weren't really booming, but when I booked you, it's like, I made a mistake. So, and then from then, they've put bare work in my pocket. I'm just like, I'm looking at you thinking, you know what? I'm not even mad at you because you don't come from this world, but at the same time, it just goes to show you how much this stuff dictates people's work and how skewed things are.
Yeah.
Because in this DJ stuff, I'm not the best, but there is no one I'm afraid to go. There's no one I'm afraid to go on after.
Don't downplay yourself, bruv. You're one of the. I stay plugged in with the DJs, yeah, and this guy is one of the goats, mate. I bet you that promoter felt like a dickhead when he put you on and you lenged his whole dance down, innit?
You know what's actually funny?
My mom was like, rah.
You know what's actually funny about that is that they put me initially to do closing, right? Because that's usually where I go. I used to do main set and warm-ups, but closing, I kind of get to just do what I want. You know what I mean?
Okay, got you.
So initially I was meant to be on closing, but then they switched me to warm-up. And the guy that they put on closing, he had like a bigger presence, but he was doing the baby things just like I've got bare people coming, this, that, and the other, like this is who I am, da 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 da. He's done the closing set and he hasn't delivered. I've done the warm-up set and it was like, yeah, we shouldn't have put in this guy on warm-up. I'm just like, hey, it's not my fault you didn't do your research. I'm just here to just DJ, man. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, so then it ended up being prosperous into years of work, but it's just like, yeah, it's just the DJ game so just weird at times, man.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that they picked the closing set.
Yeah, closing set is literally my go-to. You ask anyone that that's ever like been around any parties, the closing set is my thing. Like I realized a few years ago, it's kind of how I got to where I was today, to be honest. Anything you see me do in terms of just like work has all come off me doing closing sets. All the relationships are built because main set, everyone's battling for the main set.
Real talk.
The warm-up set, not everyone's there for the warm-up set, even if it's good enough, right? Closing set, everyone's always there for the closing set, and I kind of just play a little bit of the main, and then I go into shit that you don't usually hear.
You get the encore, bruv, as well. You get to play it to the end, and like you leave that man, but they don't want to leave, innit? And then you end up looking like the guy.
This is it. And then if you know how to hold a whole night by yourself, then closing's piece of piss, man. Like you just keep people in the room. That's all you got to do. You keep people to the end, and then you're the last person to remember.
Yeah, closing sets are lit. I used to do them for Twice as Nice. And I've spoken about this many times. Like the person I used to come on after most of the time would be Scotty B. And
when the guys play 976 songs in an hour.
Think of the pressure. Imagine the pressure. There's a young DJ Dubl at Twice as Nice, absolutely packed out rave. Scotty B's just finished the main set. He's been on for 2 hours. He's played every song ever made. And I've also stuck with the rule ever since time began. I've stuck with the rule that if someone before me plays a song, the song is burnt. It's done.
Whoa,
it's done. So that's it. Like the warm-up's done their set. Scotty B's done his set and absolutely shelled it and done everything. And now I've got to play for 2 hours and somehow keep every single person in the building, keep my quality up. Do you know what I mean? And just keep the vibes there. And
keep you strong,
bro. Whew, I tell you what, pressure makes diamonds, and they were high pressure jobs. But trust me, I wouldn't be half the DJ I am today if I didn't have those closing sets. And it was And I mean, I say it was 2 hours of pressure. Once you get to like the last half hour, it's kind of like whatever the fuck happens now. It doesn't matter if the club shuts now. It doesn't matter. So you've got like 90
the pressure releases then, innit? Towards the back last 30 minutes, you're like, wow, can actually just enjoy this bit now. Yeah, here we go.
90 minutes of sweat, bruv.
Bro, they're the best ones, man, because no one wants to go home, and you just keep giving them another one, giving them another one. I feed off that. I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't going nowhere.
This is it. Like, I shit you not, if you're an up and coming DJ and you figured out your warm up, I would say aim for closing, because I shit you not, everyone always remembers the guy that does the closing well. If you bag the closing, you get good enough to go after the main. All you need to realize is, yo, this hasn't been played. What's good music? Play the shit that hasn't been played, make it good, and then just if you can keep people to the end, they'll always remember you.
You can literally clean up, innit? And there's always so many gems that the main set DJ doesn't draw for. Even current ones sometimes they don't have in their sets, and you can just think different. Like, bro, I'm with you there. Actually,
I'm glad we're all on the same page. The way we chop songs on the fly. Like if the DJ before every time a song comes in, like in my head, I'm just like I'm ticking them off in my head. If I've already got them in my list, like it's like an automatic thing, and they just store there. I'll remember them all night now. I know what's been played. and they'll just
Yep.
subconsciously sit in the back of my brain.
There was one occasion, actually, probably more than one occasion, but this one occasion sticks out to me where I was literally forced to play pretty much what the warm-up played. And it was a show in Greece, and it was a very, very commercial club and very, very commercial crowd. And literally for the hour before I came on, the warm-up DJ played every single big song you can possibly think of that I was going to play in my set. Every massive commercial record of the moment, the warm-up played just before I got on. And it's just like, bro, like I kept having to say him through the set. I was like, listen, like, and this is the other thing. I never want to be that guy, because I've had it done to me before where someone's like, oh, don't play this. And I've thought in my head, like, you're a big man. Like, well, you're afraid of me playing. You're afraid of me playing a big record.
Big man DJ like you telling me what to play.
And you can't maneuver out of this if I rinse the songs, and you've got nothing to do. Like, but no, I had it experienced. But the only reason I was backed into a corner was because it was a very top 40 crowd, like proper commercial crowd. Do you know what I mean? So anything outside of the commercial realms, they were not having.
Not working anyway, yeah.
Nah. And being in Greece as well, you know what it's like in these summer resorts, it's competition. So if they start hearing songs they don't like, they're leaving the club. They're going to the next club.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's why I don't think that the holiday stuff is not for me, bro.
Yeah, it's hard work. But again, it's another one of those scenarios where it's like high pressure. So you just learn, innit? It just gives you another string to the bow.
Funny you say that on in terms of someone telling you not to play. I know someone that does that in closing.
What? So you say that again? So they're doing the closing set and they tell you not to play stuff
In the main.
Really? Who? Go on, who?
No. Yeah, don't get yourself in trouble, bro.
So
don't get yourself in trouble.
Okay, to be fair, the person's a cool guy, so I won't really hurt him up. But he hasn't been DJing for that long. But you know when people are like, they get it right straight away, so they kind of just like, they've got the exposure, they usually get it right out the gate. So
that's their formula.
Yeah, so like he's got it right in terms of he's got the bookings, like people believe in him, but I'm just like, yo, that's not a closing. And I was trying to go over this with one of my brothers the other day because he had to play with him not too long ago, and I was just like, bro, I don't know why he does it. It's just like, he's like, yo, say me this, say me that. I was like, bro, you know you're doing the last 40 minutes of the end of the night. Like, you can't ask for people to save you main songs. Like, that's not what closing is. Just like, bro,
yeah. So did you say that to him? Are these just thoughts that you have where you're like, no, you shouldn't really say that. Like,
no. What he will do is anything you played in the main, he'll play at the closing, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't lie to you. I'm not going to save anything for you because like you're playing the closing. I'm just like, the stuff you're asking me to save, I can't save.
Yeah.
Well,
it's literally, imagine a club night going from 10 till 4, and he's saying, yo, I want you to play from 10 till 4 and save it until 3:20. I'm just like, that's impossible.
Yeah, it's not the one.
I just don't have it in me, bruv, to say to someone, don't play this. I just don't have it in me. No matter what set of the night is, I will never, ever, I've never done it in my whole career. I have never said to a DJ, don't play that song. Play what you want, and I'll work it out.
The only thing I've said is, yo, if you're playing this, can you end on this?
Right, okay, just to make the crossover smooth. Yeah, I got
the only thing I've ever said. I've never told one to play, but I say, can you end on? If you are playing these vibes, can you end on this vibe specifically so I can transition?
Right, okay.
See,
I think go on, Dubl. I know what you was gonna say. It depends how you're changing over, innit? Sometimes you'll just do a hard reset.
There's that. No, so what I was going to say was I've never said it about specific songs. I've never said like, oh, can you not play that specific song? But
don't lie, you done it when you came to get loose.
Fuck off, did I?
Yeah, you did. Before you got on, you was like, don't play this, don't play that. Don't play
lies. Absolute liar. You absolute fucking liar. Well, actually, to be fair, I was so drunk, there's probably a chance I did it.
Well, the guy woke up on the flipping in the middle of the living room floor, man, naked. Oh my God, it's like a hangover thing, that.
Hotel bathroom floor naked.
Oh my God. Last time I booked Dubl in Manny, this guy ended his life, mate. I'm not booking him again.
I got dizzy in the club, and then decided to leave. Didn't say goodbye to
We'll
anyone.
just got off in the middle of the night.
I didn't say goodbye to anybody, and I don't know how I even found my way back. I've got a very short flash memory of walking out the front door of the club and seeing the bouncer, and the next thing I know, I was stark bollock naked.
Wait.
On the bathroom
This
floor.
guy could have got shafted by a next man.
Covered in sick.
Just for reference,
Yeah.
was GT there?
No.
He actually wasn't. He actually wasn't.
Because I've heard stories about I've heard stories about him and getting people intoxicated. So I just had to double check.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't GT this time.
Well,
it was Stylus himself with the coffee Patron.
This is the thing, right? When we used to do jam and it was me, Fusion, and Graham, like this was our thing. We would book DJs, and part of like the initiation, if you was a guest, we get you fucked up.
Sit there, spend half an hour with G2.
It was just a good way to break the ice, man. We'd let you do your set. We wouldn't finish you off, but by the end, I mean, after your set and by the time the night's finished, we want to send you home. You've had a great night. You've had your set, and you're dying pretty much. So like now we've all kind of split and started doing our own thing. That's carried on. So whenever I book DJs or Graham or whatever, but we just get people absolutely obliterated. It's just one of the things.
When the borders open, let me know because I'm overdue to come up there because my brother lives up there, isn't it?
What? Oh, in Manny.
Yeah.
Oh,
my older brother lives there. He's been there for about 7 years now, but I've been overdue to come visit there, but then quarantine kind of messed it up. We linked up in quarantine. Obviously, he's like I grew up with him, but it's one of them ones my dad's, split side of the family and all that.
Okay.
But he's in Manny now, and I was like, yeah, I've been trying to come up there for years. I've been there when I was younger, but yeah, so I'm overdue.
Oh, bro, come man, you'll have to come through the studio, innit? We can do some whipping.
Definitely this year. It's happening this year. So sometime in the summer, I'll let you know.
Sick. Yeah, we're working on trying to bring jam back at the minute. So hopefully, if this all works out, we can start bringing all our DJ homies through again and all the people that we bring on the pod. And yeah, man, we're trying to bring everything back. It's been 5 years now. So
I've never partied in Manchester, so yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, we're on that. We can get Donch fucked up. I feel like I'm cursing way too much today. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, Manchester's vibey. What I was going to say, I just remembered I didn't finish my point. I've never told someone before me not to play a specific song, but there has been occasions where I've had to step up and be like, look, slow down a little bit because I'm on for 2 hours as soon as you're done. And then there's someone on after me. So I'm like, you just relax a little bit with the shellage.
Yes, but only if they're kind of going into too many genres. So like for me, I have a sweet rule where I try and keep it to 3 in a set. If I do go over that, I save it to the end.
Okay.
So like sometimes it's like, so like let's say in eras and time, so like someone comes on old school R&B, then old school hip hop, then new school hip hop, then new school R&B, then new school dancehall, then new school Afro beats, then garage. Then I was like, yo, like, just say me one of these.
Slow down for a second.
Yeah. Like, because the thing is, realistically, you should be able to just play one. If people are into it, you can play one vibes for the hour. You don't need to be in so many pockets. So I'm just like, yo, if you're gonna go dancehall, I was like, yo, you can take old dancehall, just say me new, or like you can take the mid, like the older 2012 cartel stuff, just say me. The 3 years, maybe the last. That's the most I'd ever said. Just like if I see them going too hard, I think of time. So like sometimes when I hop on, I'll set a timer. I know some people don't think like that. So just like I don't think he realizes how deep in so many pockets he's going. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not saying what to play. Just if you are gonna do this, stop at this point for me. If you're not, let me know so I can prepare something else.
Yeah, I got you. What do you reckon the reason is behind DJs? Because you see that happening all the time. Do you reckon they do that just because they're feeling a bit under pressure, so they have to jump around to keep everybody jumpy? But like, you actually don't really need to do that. Like, just slow it down for a second, and you can sit in one genre or two. I'm kind of like you, Donch, 2 or 3. I'm not trying to jump around 15 genres in one throughout the whole night, maybe. But I'll structure it. If I'm doing a full night, I'll piece it together. But yeah,
not an hour. Yeah, I think it's a mix of things. I think sometimes it's down to a person's own personal formula, what they think works. And then sometimes just general experience. So like some people don't realize that you can go this whole time. So like I remember me doing 2-hour sets, and I had to explain to someone, I was just like, yo, when I do 2-hour sets for the first 40 minutes, I'm coasting because I can. Like I know that if I hop on a main set and I'm doing the first 2 hours, like I kind of chill because the latter half of that 2-hour set, I'm not gonna stop. So I'd rather play like that. Whereas some people go in straight from the jump. If I go in straight from the jump, it's only the first 10 minutes, then I'm gonna kind of slow down and build back up. But some people just don't think like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's really a sport, and I feel like sometimes people kind of just play in a way where, yeah, I'm just gonna play this and play that and play this. I'm just like, yo, if you think of it like this is your end goal, this is where you start, like you have a better hit rate if you know where you're trying to go.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've got to be adaptable with the crowd as well, though, because if you're doing a 2-hour set and you think, right, okay, I'm going to do the first half, like first half's going to be like old school Bashment, and you get like 2 tunes in and you realize they are not Bashment fans at all. You've got to adapt, switch, jump somewhere else. But that sort of stuff comes with experience, and I think that's part of the reason why you do come across DJs that, whether they panic or whether they just do what they've been practicing at home, or they might have a favorite DJ. So like, for example, they might have heard like a DJ Dubl set. And,
this guy, don't use yourself as that's no shame, bro.
No, I'm joking.
My days.
So they might have like their favorite DJ that they've seen in a club, and they're just trying to emulate that.
They've watched the DJ Puffy. They've watched the DJ Puffy set.
Yeah. But what they don't realize is they're emulating that from 10 p.m. And they don't realize they've taken that set completely out of context, and they don't realize the structure of a night because they're inexperienced. But I think the promoters are partially to blame as well, because some occasions when I've had experiences with like just London promoters, for example, not every London promoter, obviously, but the ones that I have had experience with in the past, they'll have like one main DJ who's like their sort of attraction DJ. That's the guy that they want as the quote unquote headliner. Then they'll have a few of the bait ones that have been like on the circuit forever, and they know will bring a crowd and they know will bring vibes. And then they'll scatter like 10 other DJs just to make sure that the social media's popping and everyone's sharing it. £20 each.
Bro, that is the deadest tactic in events worldwide.
The extra DJs.
15-minute sets each.
Yeah, exactly. The extra DJs are young, inexperienced DJs that have no idea about the formula of the night, setting things up, how to warm down, how to not play the bangers for the main set, not to play an artist's record if the artist is fucking booked to perform on the night. Do you know what I mean? Like all of these things. And the promoters do it because if they have all of these cheap guys, it's minimal overheads, but they know they've got young, very excited DJs who are going to scream and shout about the fact that they're on a lineup. So your
night is not running smooth if you book 10, 15 upcoming DJs that are new to it, don't really know the way around the booth, haven't got much club experience, and then you've got them changing over all night.
Yeah.
And then, bro, that's a disaster waiting to happen, mate.
Yeah, massively.
Go have someone in there manning that.
And this is part of the reason. It's only part of the reason why I don't really work inside London. And I just stopped trying to chase bookings. I stopped trying to network with promoters in London because it just got too messy. And those times there as well, those times were before I really was handling things like a business. So I wasn't taking deposits. I wasn't making sure the money was correct. So not only am I dealing with the headache of late people and then my set getting squeezed and all of this stuff, I'm then standing around for 45 minutes at the end of the night with 8 other DJs all waiting to get paid. And it's just like, bro, this shit's fucking long. Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you think the path from being a bedroom DJ to the club is so short? Like these guys are playing in the bed. Like back in the day, you had to you be in a room, then you might play a friend's party. Like what Don said, you come through school, you do the little parties, then you might play a few local spots, and you rank, like you get your rankings, you rank up. Now it's like bedroom DJ, Instagram video, club.
Yeah.
Now, facts.
So that is what's eating people. That's eating up DJs from early, man. That don't have the experience, and they go and do the things that we're talking about now.
Yeah, massive.
Facts because what people like it sounds peculiar to apply to DJing, but DJs that get it. Like when you're match fit and you're ready for like a full night, like none of this stuff is a problem. But a lot of times when you're booking DJs that essentially, let's say you do well online, let's say it could be a TikTok or you've got a few viral vids and things are going well, it translates to you knowing this person, I physically can see they can DJ, but that doesn't necessarily mean they can hold your night down. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think a lot of promoters, especially new promoters, get that. And I think the ones that do get it, kudos to them, because like they get it, but the ones that don't, essentially over time, it's just going to get worse because remember, people grow up, people come out of school, you host a few parties, you have a social, like I've seen people, like, for example, my boys and ends in Birmingham, I've done parties, I've got crazy numbers in a short space of time with less invested like promotions. You see, like you do the day-to-day, like proper promo run for parties. I haven't really had to do that too much. My boys, I've watched them hold flipping block parties in the space of 2 hours promotion and get 600 people to pull up. And I'm trying to tell them, look, yo, I don't think you man realize how much in terms of pulling power you have. Like this is like, you know, what people would pay for something like this. Like you can get 600 people to just pull up one specific audience in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like that's like crazy numbers. And I feel like if they was to get into party promotion, for example, they're not as dependent on like crowds and stuff. But then someone like that, if they was to start booking DJs, they're not essentially knowledgeable on how a night runs from start to finish. Because when you're young, like the social media game is definitely changing. But you see the young crowd, like I see some of my young cousins and stuff, like they have this, like they come out of school with like some of them like 10,000 followers. So in terms of like social pool, they can make parties happen like that. But that doesn't mean they know how to run a party properly from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's mad you just said that. I think we've had this conversation before. Like now these kids are tapping into socials so young. They'll be 16 and they're gone clear online. Like these lot are pushing different kind of numbers, but like you say, they might not have the knowledge to just take that and go and be putting on their own parties and booking and making sure everything runs correctly. But yeah, this social media stuff's crazy now.
100%. It's definitely a longevity thing in terms of like understanding how parties and stuff run, but it seems very black and white. But when you get into it, like I could show you, like, yo, I've run a party and why was that party sick? The party was sick because the music ran like this. If it ran differently, I promise you the party wouldn't have worked. So it's just like when I see some people that book me, it's like I won't tell you what to do, but I can see where you're going wrong because I've been DJing longer than you've been hosting events. And the only reason I don't do events is because that's not what I want to do. I'm not saying I could do events better than you, but I can tell you where you're going wrong here and there. And for me, it's just...
You could do like you could be like an event consultant.
Well, but this is it. Like most DJs who are actually experienced could actually offer a lot of advice to the people that are actually booking them. But
yeah.
And I have promoters that do take advice. Like they've got DJs who are their right hands. Like they ask me for advice. They ask certain other DJs for advice. They get it, and their events, boom. Like some of the people that have DJs on their team, they have some of the best events. The whole of London that I've ever seen, like some of the best nights I've ever DJed at, so they get it, and I understand why their events are successful. But and some of their competitors book me, and they don't understand that their competition literally has 2 DJs on their team, and they run their night by the T. So when you're trying to do your night and you're booking me, yeah, I'm a good DJ and I DJ at that night, but you're not getting what that night gets because you're not doing what they're doing. They have a formula they follow. Like they're not coming up to me telling me to turn off the funky set because this is a strictly hip hop night when the crowd's going off the funky. Like I get it, you don't want funky to play at your night, but a 10-minute funky set is not hurting your hip hop night if hip hop's been playing for 2.5 hours, bro.
And if the vibes really turn up as well. I remember playing at a Strictly Bashment event one time, and it got to we're about 3 hours in. I think three maybe 4 hours into it, and I just finished my set, and then Young Lion from One Extra. You remember Young Lion?
Yep.
Lion,
bad boy selector, bro. Young Lion from One Extra was booked, and he came on, and what did he play? I think he played Rick Ross BMF. I think that was at the time that was like one of the biggest tunes, and he did like 10-15 minutes of hip hop at a night called Strictly Bashment. and the place went absolutely wild.
Sometimes
And
they're the ones that go off the most,
Bro,
bruv. Just
in my head, I was having it wasn't even my night, but I was having a meltdown. This is strictly bashment. Like, he's not playing bashment, and it's strictly, mate. What is going on? Even though he was shelling it, bruv, absolutely killing it. There's me melting down on the inside. I'm not even the promoter. I've done my job. My job's finished. But yeah, you're entirely right. He proper switched up the vibe, injected so much energy into it. And what it then allowed him to do, off the back of that hip hop set, he then went into like the deepest dancehall. He took it to in like a very smooth transition that he was then able for the rest of his set to go really into a lot of the rhythms and stuff. And the whole club was vibing. When I think without him doing that, had he got to some of the rhythm cuts that aren't like the obvious ones, people would have got bored.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been listening to dancehall for 5 hours now, and now we're hearing some crazy dancehall track that we've never heard. It's not the rhythm that we want. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, but yeah. So
you got to have a solid, dedicated crowd to run the same genre all night. Like, if you've got the crowd for it, it can run.
Yeah.
But like you say, just throwing in a hip hop set on a bashment night, that shit's gonna turn up, man.
Yeah, it did. But with that said, it could have gone left.
It could have, but this is, you have to have the risk, and then sometimes people need to realize that obviously there's some promoters are strict, like some people I don't want that playing at my night, but it's just like yo, like your night will still be your night, but if the crowd's fucking with something, you just gotta make it roll, man.
Trust.
Facts.
Take the risk as well. You get the reward, man. You gotta have the balls to do that in the first place. Obviously, sometimes they can backfire. We've all been there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get it right all of the time, but some of the best sets have come from doing stuff like that. Just fuck it. I'm just gonna go this way.
Literally.
I'm gonna throw this. Oh, I'm gonna throw this curveball in.
Yeah.
And if it flops, I'm gonna stand there and I'm gonna take the pelters with confidence. That's the key, bro.
I'm gonna catch those tomatoes. Right, listen, I've got to bounce because I'm going on the school run, but you two carry on. I'm gonna keep recording.
Liability, man.
Sorry, dudes.
Don,
it's been a pleasure, mate. I'll shout you, but carry on the conversation anyway.
Dubl.
Yeah, my God.
Get out, man. We don't even need you, bruv. Come on. This guy needs to leave. Out. Come on. Talk to us, Donch. Then, like, are you? So you're in this events game now, then, isn't it? You do your own events, I take it, or are you like?
Yes and no.
What's your situation?
So yes and no. So I was running a few events with a few mates before, but you know, sometimes business goes different directions.
Rough.
You know, you gotta make the right decisions, right people. Things can go left, right? But outside of that, I have run a few events, and I'm trying to do a few more. So every year I do a couple little birthday things. They always go well. And my next one probably gonna be my last one, man.
Oh, for real? Guys trying to hang up the boots already. We're only just getting back at it, bro.
Boy, you know what it is. I might run a few. I just want to see how this year goes, because
I hear that.
I think my thing is I've realized where I've gone wrong on the DJ side of things. Like, there's a lot of things that I haven't been willing to do that essentially have been at my detriment, right? And it's kind of a choice of where I'm going to do some of those things, or I found a different angle. So you find a different angle, you push it, and unless you're willing to compromise, some people are willing to do anything to get where they want. But then sometimes, for me, I'm willing to do anything in the realm of some things that make sense for me.
Okay.
Like, if this is not where I got into it, then yeah, I'm probably not going to do that. So in terms of just me doing parties for myself, I don't really like being a center of attention, man.
Yeah. You seem like a pretty low key, like, quiet guy. Is that fair to say? Or
yeah, man. Like, I rather make the DJ doing the talking, man. Like, I don't want to be this. If I'm doing a party, like, I would want the party to run, and you probably know that when I hop on, you know what it is. But I don't want you to come there because of me. Do you know what I mean?
I got you.
Because I don't know, man. I just don't like
quiet in life, but loud on the decks.
There we go. Like, if you talk to me, I talk. But when it comes to the DJ stuff, that's why I don't even host. Like, I don't really like. I'm not really trying to be too like. Yeah, man. Just make the DJ and do the talking. I think with the party thing, the next one, I might have my hands in a few events, but in terms of me doing parties centered around me, yeah, nah.
When you going back to what you just said then about maybe like you getting things wrong, like do you mean like in regards to like your personal journey or things that you wish you'd done differently coming through as a DJ, or things that you missed, or can you be a bit more specific on that?
Specific. Okay, so like let's say like this. You've done radio in your time, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been into the radio thing, but I've had so many situations where the radio thing, I understand. Okay, so like I'll give you an example. Because you're knowledgeable, you'll get it. So if you look at your EZs and co, your Ruskies, your Jeffs, there's certain people that are just club DJs, right?
Got you.
They may have had their hands in a few pots here or there, but they've never really focused on that. Like their thing exists in the club. Like if you're booking EZ, you're not booking EZ really to a radio show. You're booking him to shut down the club. Same with Rusky, same with like Jeff, same with like Load, like with a Scotty B. I know he's done other stuff, but he reigns supreme in the club. You're booking my man because he'll shut down the club. And for me, I've tried those things and it hasn't felt right. But every time in the club, I've never wavered, but I've realized that in the time of when I came up, so I came up, you see Silk, right?
Yes.
He was the guy, and I don't know if you know about Friction. Asian Friction.
Yeah. Friction, that's the homie, man. No way.
So them two were the guys that I looked up to. So obviously, you know about Birmingham, it's very dancehall orientated, right? So around me, if I wasn't aware of them, I probably might have ended up being a bashment DJ.
Mad.
So DJs like that, where I saw that they were in their bag, they did dancehall, they did hip hop, they did garage, they grinded, did what they wanted. They didn't really talk too much. They just made the work do the talking, but they were successful. Do you know what I mean? But then in that time, over the years, the criteria's changed. So I started DJing, what, 08, 09, when I finished school, going into college. Back then, like, there was social media wasn't what it was now.
100.
Now, in that time, things have changed. So I've come to uni, things are going well, DJing-ish. And it wasn't until I finished uni and then like 2014, 15, I really to like, you have to change what you're doing. You have to kind of adapt, right? But that doesn't. Hello.
Yeah, I can still hear you, bro. You just you cut off for a second, but you're back. You're good. I think.
But that doesn't necessarily mean. That doesn't necessarily mean in terms of adapting that I want to be a presenter, I want to be a radio person, I want to do this, I want to be influencer. It doesn't mean I want to do those things, but doing those things also helps certain things. And I've seen that with some of my peers. It's just like, yo, they've hopped on the radio presenting thing and they've gained from it, even though as a personality, people haven't really been able to bite into them too much, but because they are on that platform, on that station, it's managed to lift them up.
I got you. So it's more of a case of like building little branch offs, but it's not like taking anything away from the core focus of what's most important to you, which is shelling down the clubs. Like you just said, then you're most comfortable when you're in the club. Or if you can pull, like you've got like little bits of radio, promo, events, and all that kind of ties into the core aspects of it. Is that I hear that. I hear that still. I hear that. You're doing the radio now though, aren't you? But aren't you doing you've been doing the no signal stuff, right?
Ish, because obviously I know the people that do it. So one of the club nights, people don't know, but okay, people that know of no signal know, but people that don't know. So one of the club nights that I've been a resident at for like maybe 2 years now, they are the same guys that run that night are the people that started no signal. So no signal was happening before it popped, if you know what I mean. So I was doing random little pop-up events, and then over quarantine it's just popped. So now no signal is their flagship thing that people are aware about, but their club nights still do well, and I'm still DJing for their club nights.
Was that Recess?
Yeah, Recess.
Got you. Dope. Fire
so
brand.
This is it. So I've been DJing for Recess for a while now, like 2 years. So that's going well, but every time I do stuff on there, it's more so they'll hit me up. It's like, yo, are you free on this date? Yo, you want to come through and do a guest mix? Da, 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 da. But I know eventually that will probably stop, because as a radio station, eventually you're going to stop hitting up DJs. It's more so dependent on the DJ wanting to do a show on your station.
100.
But I don't want to do a show. Like if I was to ever do a show, it'd be something like, you see the Breakfast Club,
Got you.
where it's not dependent on one person. It's like
You want to go on radio and chat crud, innit? Really, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, man. Like I don't want to talk when I'm mixed out. I'd rather just talk with the man them, and I talk. Like, I don't want to.
I hear that. I hear that.
So, but that platform hasn't opened up for me yet, and so until I make it happen or it happens, right now I'm just trying to make sure, which is something I haven't personally done. You see, when you see me in the clubs, you understand what I do and what people you're booking is separate. And what people do, what I do, they make it very clear, and I've visibly seen, like, when you, like, I've never come across Scotty B in the clubs, but I know what Scotty B does, man have told me. And when you go to check his page, you visibly see what he does online, he does in the clubs.
Does it in the clubs.
And it's very, like, man know what Scotty B does. When it comes to me, it's clear, DJs know, but I don't think 100% everyone gets it. Some people do, but not. There's still some kind of confusion. So for me, content is what I'm focusing on this year, just making sure everything I do is visibly clear.
I got you. Now I can relate to that, bro, to be fair, because I feel like I kind of fell into the same boat in regards to the fact that I wasn't posting DJ content. I think you even wrote on one the other week.
Yeah.
And my missus was telling me, she's like, why are you not post? Like, you know what you can bring. All the people around Manny know what you're about. But I mean, like you said, social media is evolving now. Not everybody's tapped in. Not everybody knows what you do. Start posting more content and like flex on these people, innit? And like the way I post my videos, that's how I play when I'm out. Same with like Scotty, and I'm sure you're exactly the same. I've not seen you live yet, but I can't wait to see you do a live set, bro.
It's funny Double ducked out because he's actually been there when I played, but yeah, that's literally. So for me, oh shit, I lost my
get that content popping again, bro. That's what you need to do.
There we go. I remember what I was gonna say now. So I have a brother, influencer chick, in America,
Okay.
And massive following, like 500 million or some shit like that, right?
Mad.
And this girl posts every single day without fail. Even if the content is similar to what I've seen the day before, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
She posts every single day without fail. And I realized, like, yo, she's winning because, remember, when you think about how the algorithms work, you're only getting a percentage of your following, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got like 500,000 followers, and 10% of that, 40,000, I don't even think Instagram is showing you I don't think they're showing 40,000 people.
Not a chance. Every day. No way.
So she needs to keep posting so that everyone actually sees her stuff.
It's true.
So why am I not posting more? Because all the DJs I know that can flex in all different regions of the world, France, they post regular and they gain from it. So it's just like, for me, I'll just kind of dip in, and I just feel like I'm really just going to drive forward on making sure you know exactly what I'm about. And I ain't coming out the house for any party that doesn't know that this is what I do.
I got you. I think the problem is, bro, do you know what? For me, the problem was overthinking and striving for perfection too much. So I said the problem for me with the content stuff was I was always trying to strive for this perfect video or overthinking everything to the point where I just wouldn't post.
Yep.
I'd overthink it to the point where I'm not posting that or record something, watch about now that can't go out. When in reality, you've just got the consistent content is what wins. But I just didn't want to play the game.
Yeah,
that's what I was at inside. I was like, I don't want to play this game.
Bro, yep. Playing the game is like, but then what you need to realize is you kind of have to play the game on your own terms, because for me, I didn't want to play the game. I really hate playing the music DJ game because it's like, if I'm good enough and you know it, then it's just like, you should know it.
You want to be booked off merit, innit? I hear you.
Yeah. I'm just like, man, booking, you know it. So it's just like, but then sometimes it's like, it's not even like necessarily I'm playing their game, I'm playing my game. So it's just like, over quarantine, I've definitely managed to see where I've gone wrong in terms of doing what they do and finding a way of doing what they do, but in my own way, where
Got
it
you.
feels right. So I'm just like, yeah, I would do this every day. I'll do this every week. This is the kind of content I would do. Kind of seeing just little bits and bobs. So like now, I'm more inclined to do the consistent work, filming this, that, and the other with my boys. Cause like I did one little thing with my boys where they did some like behind the scenes of one of my birthday things, right?
Okay.
Did a little they did a little content piece for me, and then I just thought to myself, yo, I'm awkward to people that don't know me.
Nah, you're not awkward, man.
So like,
You're just calm, bro. You're just a calm guy, innit?
you say this, so like, okay, I can talk with people that can talk. You know what it is? I don't like certain people like they can do like the online thing. For me, I'm awkward for people that don't know me. If you know me or if you're just on the same wavelength, it's just normal. Do you know what I mean? It's chill, I'm cool. So I just said, why am I getting random videographers to get content? Why am I not getting my boys who work in media to help me do my content? Like, they're my boys. When I'm with them, I'm my most organic. I'm running
Exactly.
joke. Things look live. And I put the video up. I've done well and the content's sick. I'm just like, say no more. So I've learned little editing bits. So if there's anything I don't like that they do, I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm going to do this. I can do this. I can do that. But I'm going to do the content with my man because these men, I'm 100% myself with.
Got you. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Well, I feel like the videos you've already posted, the stuff that I see you post on, like you do your little, is it like you have like a GoPro on your head or something when you do them?
My chest.
See, like them flexes, like they all do, they smack it on Twitter, right?
No,
Like,
they actually get me a lot of my work, funny enough.
Yeah, you've been flexing on there for time, so I feel like if you put that if you get that consistency into like the Instagram and whatnot, you'll fly, man. DJ visuals do really well on social media, innit? Like, and with the way you flex, your hands a bit. I can't keep up with you, bro. This guy's a beast, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
Just get that direct audio next time, innit? Because if I hear any more clicks on them buttons,
you know what's thing is, some of them are putting on purpose, you know.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time, when I did it with Serato, I realized in terms of production value and just like doing videos, just like, yo, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. Like, it's very, yeah.
Donch has got company.
My mom wants me to get groceries in a bit.
Oh, snap! Was that the mumsy? My bad. Shit, and I may cussing away. I'll hold it down. My bad.
No, but yeah. Back.
Yo, still there, bro?
Yo.
Yeah, you're there.
Can you hear me? Yeah. You're not the only one who said about the clicking, so maybe you're right. Maybe it has to go.
What? Talk to us about the Serato set, bro. How long ago was that? Now was that? I think it's on your. I think it's your pinned tweet, right? Let me have a look. I think I've got your Twitter up here.
My guess is 2019.
Yeah, you're right. 9th of January. Shit, so that was over 2 years ago, man. So you was.
Yeah, quarantine takes time, boy.
I hear. Have you been practicing much through lockdown? Like, have you used the hours? Have you used the hours to tap back in? Yeah, or.
Sir, I am the best I have ever been.
My guy.
I promise you. So when I start chilling out content, it will make sense. But I'm the best I've ever been.
Yeah, I love that, man. Man said that with conviction and confidence as well. Donch is in his bag right now.
Yeah, like a lot. You know what it is when it comes to the technical side of things. Like, for example, I'm able, but I understand what to do in the club, right? Like, I don't overdo it, but at the same time, I understand what having this skill set, it adds ease to your set. Do you know what I mean? You feel comfortable, like anything you're trying to do in a quick, like, because you're technically able, it's just like, it's not easy. If I want to try something out, I can try it out. And for me, that's a comfort that I don't think people understand. So I remember when I was coming up, a lot of Yardy DJs, obviously they're more mic men, right? And this is why I say when I saw Silk and Friction, and these men don't talk, they're just flexing, but they're shutting down. I'm just like, no, I want to do that, because the talking thing, it wasn't until I saw someone like Puffy and a Scotty, but more so Puffy, where I realized that DJs can flex and talk at the same time, but even that's a hard talent in itself. To do it in the way Puffy does it is near impossible.
It's like you just said, Yo, bro, listen. It's like you just said, you get your technical level up. So when you go to a set, you can do them little flexes. I think Puffy's got it to that level where he can flex without thinking about it, but do the mic at the same time. Like he's hitting it at a different level. It's like people will see, I'll do little videos of man all right, and it like too easy. And I'll be like, it's not too easy, bro, because that's 150,000 hours of training. Do you know what I mean? Like people,
literally.
Like I can only imagine like the hours that you've put into your craft with how like your technical ability is super high, bro. So
it was an invested interest. There was a time, I can't remember, I think it was 2015 that year. So I bought a pair of CDJs and it was like a 6-month run. But when I say 6 months, I was working a little night job at Tesco, yeah?
Okay.
That was my main source of income. And I said to myself, I'm gonna have a part-time job, and then the rest of my money is gonna come from DJing.
We got something in common, bro, because I came out the same way, bro. Self-stacking in Tesco, man.
Yeah.
You, bro. The struggle was real, mate.
Tell me about it. So I used to work Sunday night, Monday night, and for the rest of the week I was free. Tuesday daytime, Monday daytime, Tuesday daytime, Wednesday daytime, Thursday daytime. I was out there in my room 10 hours every single day.
Wow.
And then over a 6-month period. And then from then, I've never put in as much effort as that time. It's just been consistent 10 hours once a week here and there. Like I'll just focus on a couple bits and bobs. And then the routine stuff kind of came in around the same time, where it's just like watching a lot of American DJs and just finding different ways of. Initially, it didn't even start off as me trying to do routines. It was just like, you see, like when you go from one genre to the next, I always wanted to find an organic way of doing it.
Okay.
Like if I leave hip hop and go into dance, I wanted to find it in the most impactful way. Do you know what I mean? And then over time, I just built off little bits and bobs, and that's how the video started.
I was about to say, like, because the technical side of it, it's not something I ever looked into at the start. It was like I wanted to be a DJ. Like EZ was the reason I got into DJ, and I was a big garage guy. So like that was kind of, but he wasn't known for, like, he wasn't a big scratcher. He had some technical, like he did his little EZ techers and that, but that kind of came like later on. Like at what point did you start funneling over to the routines and the cutting and the scratching? Was that something that came earlier, or was it a progression into it?
I'll tell you specifically. So I started DJing let's say 08, last year of school, yeah. So year 10 to year 11, between that time. And I started on bassline, funky, and garage. I was a big garage head like yourself. When I saw them two, so like Friction and Silk, I was always an old school R&B man from like my mom and the family, and like so I was into like old school R&B and hip hop.
Yeah, same man.
I saw them lot on the technical thing, and I realized there was another way to go DJing. And then so I kind of kept that in the back of my mind, but it wasn't until like 2013, uni stopped, came back to Birmingham, randomly looking online at like Jazzy Jeff's, them lot. He used to run his thing. I don't know if he still does it, the Vinyl Destination. His little
I think he's still doing them. He does like the little retreats and that. I don't know if they're still going on, but
yeah. So I used to watch them, and it kind of showed me an avenue where I used to see like the do-overs and certain different random parties where like I understood that, yo, I hear all the stuff that people want to hear, but like, yo, if people are here for good music, you can play what you want. But at the same time, you'll have his host, and then the technical side of things. It just looked, as a package, it just seemed interesting to me. You know what I mean? In terms of, yo, you can play what you want, but for you to play what you want, you have to own this equipment. Like you need to feel comfortable here. So same way with the EZ, and like at a similar time. So like between, I think it was 2010, between 2010 and 2013, a lot of EZ's videos were going more viral. So he had that second coming where the internet was really clocking onto him.
EZ's been reborn 3 times, isn't it, man?
This is like when I tell people. So
he's been recycled a couple of times, bro, and he gets stronger every time. It's mad.
Fam, and when I tell people this, like I'll be long enough to see it, because around 2010, a couple of my residencies in Birmingham, they were booking EZ, so he was bookable. Now his fee must be insane, right?
Bro, you can't even book. You can't book him now. You can't even book this guy now, bro. We booked him once in Manny about 12 years ago,
Mhm.
And I put myself on the warm up because it was our event.
Yeah.
We tried to get him 3-4 years later. Gone. You can't even get. You can't. So I can only imagine now the restrictions on booking him must
This
be
is
through the
it.
roof. Festivals only.
This is it. So I saw that, and I'm seeing a DJ, and I realized that like the technical side of things, the Yardy man who were around me are telling me, just pick up the mic, man, juggling's. I'm just like, nah, it's a mix. I need everything. Like I need to look at this DJ equipment and own it. You know what I mean? So I used to see like Heartless Crew. They came up to Birmingham for a couple of times around there, and Fonty can flex,
Bro,
I don't know if you had it.
He's different, bro. See, with Fonty, he was the first guy that put me into mixing like R&B with like garage and drum and bass with like a slow jam, or like he was the first guy that really made me tap into like that. Man can mix these genres. No one was really doing it like that
100%.
back then. I remember hearing the Chris Biscuit album. You remember that album?
Yep.
Bruv, some of the mixes on that, man, got Donnell Jones running with the D&B and that. I was like, what is going on?
This is it. So I think it was that time period when I finished uni. So basically, I had a basis where I could go back and forth to uni like once a month, maybe twice to do gigs, right? But it wasn't serious. So like random little Shoreditch nightclubs. So like the early, see when the trap scene was coming in, right? Random little nights like that where I'll get booked, and I was just like, I was working a night shift at Tesco, and then all through this is before I came to London to work at Tesco. So I was working up Lichfield. I don't know if you know Lichfield.
Yeah, I know of it, yeah, but never been in them ends.
Outskirts of slave labor. That thing was terrible. Before I transitioned from the warehouse to an actual Tesco store, I was there, and then when I used to come home, just DJ shit, or watching DJ videos all of the time, just seeing different different vibes, listening to mixes. So I'll say that 2013 period to 2014, and then like mid 2014, I came back to London, and then from then, kind of just been on kind of vibes that mixing different kind of music, just a more creative approach. Just shit.
Carry on.
No, we don't want you back, bro. Stay out. We don't need you now, bro. We're having a good conversation over here.
Carry on. Don't let me interrupt you. I'm listening.
Go on.
Yeah. So since that 2013 period, I've had like more of a creative approach, because I've just realized like, when you're like one with your equipment, you're comfy, you get the best out of it. And then when you are free to play whatever genres you want, not just sticking to one kind of vibes. Like for me, I can play anything for about an hour straight, any vibes that I'm into. So funky, garage, grime, dancehall, new Afrobeats, old Afrobeats, funk, soul, you name it, right? But for me, if you give me a short set, I'm going to try and incorporate a good amount of that in a way where it makes sense, because I know I'm not the only person that loves music. So if you give me a crowd that's into music, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Okay. Going back to that point you said about the mic. So but how come you didn't sway towards using it then? Was it just the case of you've watched Silk and you watched Friction and these local guys shelling without it? Like, I was kind of the same. You can let the music do the talking in some instances, but you have to flex in a certain way.
Yeah,
I wanted to let the set speak without touching a microphone. If you know what I mean, you can't just be no boring ass DJ.
It was an invested effort, so I wanted to be capable to be able to. If I can't do this job without talking, then I must not be good enough.
Real talk. I hear that. I see why the mic helps for sure. Like, I wasn't really a mic guy coming through. I know Dubl's heavily invested in hosting sets.
No,
like he loves it.
Yeah, I don't shut up.
This can't be talking over all the choruses, man.
Yeah.
It's the serious going to be.
Did I break him? I came back and broke DONCH.
Bro, I swear, while you've not been online yet, we've had no cutouts. I swear down, bro. Double's come back and he's killing it.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'm never going to be as good as a host as the guys that I booked to host for me. Like some of the guys around me are 10-10, right? But on the DJ side, I'm confident in that. So if I combine what I do with what I do, that's the best marriage. I focus solely on what I'm doing and get hosts that understand what I'm doing and what they're doing is top notch. It's the perfect marriage. Don't get me wrong, DJs that host that are a good standard, I envy them. I wish I could, but I don't have shit to say. to be honest.
No, I hear that, man. Like, I feel like if I'm drunk, I'll host the set, yeah, and it'll just flow. But like sometimes I just feel like I'm getting in the way right now. Do you know what I mean? Unless someone, I like the interactive hosts that'll go out on the floor and they'll start a little dance or they'll get gal up on stage or whatever. I'm all for that. But sometimes hosts can just be, certain hosts can just be in the way. Like they're just sitting on the track for no reason. Like let the music,
get them
music breathe.
Even they need a separate mixer.
Yeah.
The ones that come over and start pulling the faded, bruv.
Stop leaning over. I'm trying to do tricks.
Stop touching my shit, bro.
One thing about me, especially when I'm doing guest sets, I have a lot of transition tricks that I do. Yep. So like not just straight 8-bar mixing or whatnot. So I have a lot of different if I want to take from one vibe to the next, there's transition tricks in it. And this is one of the things I don't like working with a host that's never worked with me before, is because I might be halfway through a transition and then they just start talking.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand what's going on and they just blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, now I've got to extend the trick so that actually people can hear what I'm doing. And now they think I'm trying to let them speak for longer. So now they're speaking for longer. Yep. So I'm extending the trick. So they're speaking. And it's just like 10 minutes later, it's like, fuck's sake, let me
There's two types of hosts, bro. There's two types of hosts. There's ones that want to host the set. They understand how DJs work and how music is structured. So they'll host it in the right way. Then there's the other side that like the sound of their own voice.
Yeah.
They're not there to host the set. They're there to get their own weight up, and they want to speak all over everything. Them ones are the hosts that I'll just turn your mic off, bro.
I tell you this: the best hosts that I know are DJs. DJs made the best hosts.
Okay, yeah. Trust.
So like, if you got a DJ who's like on an off night and just cut through the venue and he hosts, be like, yo, let me hop on mic. They're some of the best hosts I've worked with. I have one or two men that understand it or understand DJing, but it's the ones that kind of don't get DJing but are like good vibes people. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that do a lot of the talking to themselves and they don't get the breaks. But at the same time, I'm not afraid to turn someone's mic off if I'm doing something I know is gonna work.
Bro, if I'm on set, I'm in control now. The mix is mine. Yep. If I want to turn you off, you can't tell me and you can't come and tell me. Like the mic's out, mate. You're out. And if you're talking over a transition or a blend, that is a foul. That's a red card, mate. Yep. That's a red card offense.
Exactly. Facts. There is another type I've worked with. I worked with one particular guy one time in Brighton. Names. I'm not gonna throw his name in there today.
Dubl makes every guest throw people under the bus, and I don't want to give names.
I know. And this one. No, only reason I don't want to give him names.
I'm joking, bro. I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
But the only reason I don't want to is because I don't want to give him any kind of clout or any validation in the scene whatsoever, because he needs to be put in a bin. And anyway, he came on. I was doing a 2-hour set. He was booked. I don't even know. He was playing for free. Basically, I found out, but he was booked for like 20 minutes or something like that to host 20 minutes of the set. And he basically brought a cameraman with him and started telling me to play certain songs. He was like, "Yeah, play this," and then after that, play this. Then after that, play this. And he was naming the bangers because he wanted Instagram content. That's what he wanted. He wanted to build up his "I'm a host" portfolio, put it out on Instagram. Look how sick he is, and look how he's got everyone going live. And yeah, bro, like 15 minutes or so in.
For all this conversation we've been having about socials, bro.
Yeah,
and you just nailed it, like for the gram. Nah,
for
man.
the gram.
Let the vibes run, my guy.
Yeah, I spoke to the club manager about it afterwards as well. I said to him, like, I never ever book that person on a set with me ever again. Like, for sure. And I'm not a bougie guy either. I'm not one of them ones that I won't work with him and him and him, but I won't work with him.
we don't really have many. Like a lot of the venues in Manny, they don't really like hosts, bro. So like, so I swear down, so like 80 to 90% of my sets, unless it's an event that I'm hosting myself or that I'm throwing, there won't be a mic, man. So
for the whole night?
For the whole night, bro.
Oh, wow.
Like a majority of my sets over the years, I've just played all night without a mic. And it served me well. Because you just get to that point where like you said, you flex in a certain way without a mic, and you can still keep the crowd engaged.
Yeah.
If like, to be honest, if you can't do that, then so this is the thing. So not that DJs who host aren't capable, but I feel like if you can't actually do it without talking, then that's something that you're missing. So in the same way that I'm saying the hosting thing is something I'm missing, but I only say I'm missing it when I look at someone like a Puffy.
Got you.
Because
there's a level
I can
to
see
this,
how he. Yeah, so I can understand when I look at a Puffy, he does something I physically can't do, and it's good. That is something I wish I could do, but unfortunately I can't. So I will compensate in other ways because I have more time than Puffy. So because I don't have the mic, I have more time, and I'll always be more able because I've got my mic guy there. But at the same time, Puffy's better in a certain way. But there are some DJs who physically can't hold it up without a mic. I know DJs who literally one drop their whole set.
Right. Okay.
So.
Tim Westwood. And I put Westwood a few times, yeah, so I can see.
He's someone that does. He does. But I don't think he would deny it, to be honest.
Nah, not at all, man. No, I'm not. To be fair, if there's one DJ that can get away with it, it's Westwood, man. We'll let him slide, innit? We'll let Westwood slide.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just threw it off there. My bad.
Make some noise.
Carry on.
No, but yeah. So literally, that for me, you just have to be able with it. If you're not, I feel like it's a conversation you need to be aware of, because I wouldn't have came into DJing like as I said earlier. I see it as a sport. Anything that I do, I see what man are doing and I can be objective. This guy is better than me. He's better than me in every way. But then over the years, he's better than me on the technical side. He's not better than me on the technical side. He's better on the hosting side. Or I have a host. I'm comfortable with what I do now. So when I say I can go on after anyone, it's because I understand what I do. I don't need to talk to shut down. And if I do need to talk to shut down, because there's like certain parties, and like one time, oh, this party was hell.
The stress, man.
I saw that took you right back then as well. He actually revisited that memory.
Was a proper flashback then, isn't it, man? PTSD, mate. Fuck.
So I can tell you, it's a couple years ago. So you see, C-Biz, The Game Is Mine, yeah? At that period, biggest song in the whole country, in the hood parties, in the commercial parties. It's right at that point where, you know, a song leaves the underground space, it's in the commercial space. So at that sweet spot, it's the biggest song in the whole Black urban club party hip hop R&B world. That's the biggest song going, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm at a black party in Birmingham. It's a dancehall spot, right? But all my boys are there, so and the average age is under 30. So you would expect that if dancehall is playing for 5 hours, that when the hip hop set comes, that it's inevitably gonna go off, right?
Yeah.
Wrong.
My man nosedived the whole rave, innit?
Bro. And it was a one key factor. And that's when I realized dancehall parties are so specific when they're not. So like when you mentioned earlier about the Young Lion thing, it's like when it goes up, it goes up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that party, all my mandem, they went off, but everyone else in the whole, and the thing is, it was actually one of their birthday parties. So this whole thing is like 400 people. It's in Birmingham. It's in like some random warehouse in West Brom. And if the party's going off, and the only difference between my set and everyone else's set is that there was no host. So the second, like, and them lot really dive into the whole screaming over the rhythm, like the real proper backyard dance.
Part of the dancehall culture, that, innit, man? Yeah, I hear that.
Them not really buy into it. So the second that I've hopped on and I've played a set without that, the energy's just gone missing for them, even though the set was good enough. So the man was like, nah, like, yo, you did your thing, but yeah, you need to get a host still. These like ain't fucking with the no hosting. I'm just like,
man, we're dashing tomatoes at DONCH, you know. Oh my god.
Bro, literally, I shit you not. The first song I played, and I played for like 10 minutes, and I was just like, yo, you man, there is nothing I can do here. Unless you get me someone that hosts, what I'm doing is impossible. And the second someone started hosting, it went up, and I was just like, you mean to tell me you men are dancing to voices?
Wow.
Not music, like.
It's kind of like they need to be I don't know, man. It's weird that it is weird that
it's strange because it's like in some cases it's like they need someone to narrate what's happening.
Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. Like
And
compare.
I find that with some of the stuff that I do, like if I'm not going between, and I do this more with my residencies as opposed to my guest sets. And actually, I do it with my guest sets a lot as well. But if I'm going from one vibe to the next vibe, or if musically I can't make the two songs make sense together, because I always try and make it flow. But if there's something that I'm doing that doesn't make it flow, I'll jump on the mic, and that fills the void. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever you say, you just put a little link in there. Whatever you say there can make it make sense. It's the glue between the two parts.
Kid was saying it on the last episode. One of you would have like little build-up sentences towards the certain drops and like and would like cue it up in certain ways and whatever.
Yeah, and like perfect example of that. I remember one of the best moments actually I had. I was super drunk as well, and I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said something about the after party. Like once the club's done, I'm not from round here, so I need to know the after party. So as soon as we finish, I just need one person, and then boom, I press play, and there's Burna Boy's voice saying, "Send me the location."
Yeah.
And then that song came on, and then straight away, because it was like there was a little build up to it, and then the song comes in context. Yeah, go for it, bro. I think I did it, brother. I think I did it in Manchester that time as well. Actually, I think because it worked really well that time that I did it. So I used it for about 6 or 7 parties after that.
The after party was on the hotel room floor.
Yeah, hotel bathroom floor covered in sick.
Wait, was it that bad?
Bro, this guy was swimming in carrots, mate.
Yeah, I was naked on the bathroom floor, covered in sick, bro.
Yo, Donch, I don't know how that happened, bro, because I didn't even give him that much liquor.
I'm pretty sure it was my sick. I don't know whose sick it was. It might have been mine.
Yeah, that's only happened to me once. Still, yeah, I hear that. This is a painful situation when you have the
Oh mate, yeah. I'm a lightweight, so I'm a regular at that station, bro. Like, yeah.
We've had a couple messy ones over the years. I'm cutting down now. No alcohol when we go back to the clubs. Yeah.
Yeah, more alcohol when we go back to the clubs for me.
I'm gonna be HG, just pre the dance, hugging the speakers, just soaking up the atmosphere. No alcohol for me, mate.
First.
No, not for the first month at least.
I'm gonna drink for all three of us then. I'm getting lit. Donch, while I was out, while I just popped out to randomly go and collect my son from school halfway through a podcast, did you guys talk about the DVD player?
Oh, everyone. That we did.
Yeah, double mentioned this briefly, but I need to hear what the hell is going on here. But
the thing is, I've seen you tweet about it before. In fact, I've seen you tweet about it on several occasions that you were saying, one day I will speak about the DVD player. I think 2 weeks ago you popped up in a WhatsApp group and mentioned something about a DVD. We need the story, bro. We need the exclusive right here.
So there's 2 occasions there's probably more, but 2 occasions there's 2 occasions in DJing that really stand out to me. The DVD player was one, and there was one a couple of years ago when someone asked me to play only new music for the whole night. But the DVD player thing.
This guy's killing me today.
It was a weird one because with the music thing, because I was just like, I was trying to explain to them that it can't work, and they were just like, I don't want to hear anything past 2016. I was just like, okay, but what, for the whole night? For the whole night, I was just like, yeah, I'm not taking this booking. And then obviously it came very close to the party, and then they was just like, oh, no, you're the only DJ left. I'm like, bro, I can't lie to you. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do it because this was in 2016.
Right.
So he said he wanted to book me. Yeah. Right. So he wanted to book me from 9 till 4, and he said, you're not allowed to play. You can play all genres, I want to hear everything, but nothing past 2016. But that's the other occasion. So yeah, that was a weird night, and I refused to be booking,
that's an interesting request, yo.
In 2016 as well. That's what makes it even madder.
And the thing,
so you got a whole so you can only play stuff from that 1 year.
But wait, this is not a club night. This is a birthday party.
What? So 2016 even a lit year for music? No. Yeah, that's.
It was like in March, May times, between March and May.
Wow. So between March and so at best, you've got 5 months of 1 year
It was
worth of music.
It was the stupidest request I've ever heard, next to the DVD player one.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so it was college times, and so this was like in my first few years DJing, right? And it was like a student party, quote unquote. So you know them, like they're not proper like full student parties where it's like everyone like what's the word? You see, like the uni student parties are different from the college student parties. Like there's a distinct difference. So it's like I was in my last year of uni, my last year of college, sorry, but as the crowd's not that diverse. So this guy wanted to book me for some night regardless. Them times I was still on my CD case. So he's obviously asked me to come do the booking. I've gone there and it's at in Warsaw. You know Warsaw?
No.
Okay, Georgia Smith Bits. Them sides, like outskirts of Birmingham. So between, you know, Wolverhampton.
Yeah, I don't know the area, but yeah.
Silk's from Wolves, isn't it?
Yeah, his bits. So between there, so in the town centre after college, she's asked me to come do some student party, and then obviously I've gone there. So it's like a friend of a friend. So I used to do athletics, like 100, 200, and one of my boys from track, he said he had a virgin at my college that was trying to do some student party. So he's booked me, and then he's been mad vague about the party. So that in itself has already been a bit weird at that time. Because it's like, you like to get responses like, oh, what party is? Oh, it's just a student party, bro. It's like, what kind of vibe it is? Oh, it's sick, bro. Trust me. I'm just like, that's
a red light, mate.
That's a red flag, right?
Starts feeling a little bit vague, like them spidey senses kick in. You kind of know what's heading your way then.
This is it. And in them times, the fee wasn't really booming, so I was just like, it's like, how much? And I was just like, I can do it for one for like 2 hours, maybe, like hour and a half. And he's just like, all right, cool. And then he's like, oh, you can't do it for like 30. I'm just like, huh? It's like £30. He's just like, yeah, bro. It's just like, that's the budget. I'm just like, no.
Man said £30 was the budget. Why?
I'm logging off.
So
already, on my lunch.
So, but it's annoying because you know when you it's one of the ones where you're hearing this conversation on the day, so you've gone over certain stuff, but you've kind of forget to double check, and then it's coming so close to the time, and because it was like for a friend, everything was last minute, right? So it's getting closer to the time now. I've not gone home, so I've literally just stayed in college till late. So like my college closed around 9 o'clock. You could stay after and do like, you know, your little work in the library and whatnot, right? I think it closed at 9, 10. So I've hanged around after college and I've gone there on an early one. And then, so basically I've got there now to the club, and it was one place that was in the town center. And then I said to him, it's like, oh yeah, man, I'm here. See one of my boys, security guard on the door. I was like, well, go on. I was like, what's in there saying? It's just like, there's no one in there. And so I just thought, oh, okay. And then, so in my head, I know I'm getting my £100. So I'm thinking, regardless, I don't live too far from here, so I'm just gonna DJ and and obviously because it's early, he wanted to run the night till 2 in the morning. I was like, it's like 10 o'clock. I'm just like, well, like 10:30. I'm just like, there's no way on earth this is going till 2 in the morning. This is physically impossible. Yeah. So I'm saying to him, can I go on?
No, go on. I'm still listening.
Oh yeah. So I'm saying to him, like, what now? And he's just like, yeah. I'm just like, okay. So I've gone to the DJ booth, and then all I saw is a computer screen and a DVD player, like, you know, a monitor. And then I'm looking around, I was like, so there's like a computer thing, like an actual computer monitor, computer tower, but it's not plugged in. There's the screen monitor and the DVD player. I'm looking at the booth, I'm just like, because I said to him, the equipment is like, yeah, over there. So I've gone to where the DJ booth should be. And I'm just seeing a DVD player and the screen. I'm just like,
is that some DJ starter pack?
So I look at it, I was just like, nah, this can't be what's going on. Because them times I didn't have the most advanced equipment. I had some, I don't know if you know about the Newmark Axis 9s.
What were they? What, the CD? Were they the CDJs with a little? They had the wheel on with the 3 like big buttons that just went across the top of it. I don't know if they're the same ones. I might be completely off there, but
I have no idea. I don't know. Nexus. Were they CD drives or turntables?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back. You're
What-
back.
Yeah.
Were
Yeah,
they
no, no,
CD drives or turntables?
no. Stylus is right.
But they the ones, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
I remember them.
Yeah, that's what I learned. That's what I learned. I didn't learn on Pioneer shit. I learned on bare random other DJ shit. But I was on Newmark things.
They had them
So that's what I had
the
at
big
home. So my
punchy
equipment was
buttons, wasn't it? It was like the big punch. It's like three
Yep.
together with the play and the pause and the thing. Wow, that's going back, mate.
yep,
Jesus.
yep. So I had those at home. So my equipment wasn't super advanced, but I had 2 decks and a mixer. So I know what I'm expecting to see. I'm not necessarily expecting to see Pioneer equipment, but them times was before Pioneer was the industry standard, but only the
Suspense.
Have I got again?
Yeah.
You're back. It's just little glitches.
What was the last thing? What was the last thing you heard me say?
Talking about the Pioneer.
Yeah, and then you said only the.
Only proper nightclubs who are on their shit would have like Pioneer equipment them times. Like in 2010 times, bare clubs will have random CD decks, whatever. Like it was only like clubs that were really trying to invest would have the Pioneer DJ equipment them times. So that's not what I was expecting. So I've said to him, I was like, yo, bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, bro.
I was like, yo, bro, like, there's no DJ equipment. It's like, no, there is, bro. I was just like, and then
I said it with confidence as well. Yeah, there is.
He's like, yeah, there is, bro. I'm like, trust me. I was just like, yo, come with me for a sec. I was just like, bro, that's not. I was like, look, it's just like, he's like, yeah, hop on. I'm like, bro, it's a DVD player. He's just like, what? You can't DJ on that? I'm just like,
oh my days! Right. See, when we were having this conversation before about rogue promoters, bro.
yeah.
Bro. Oh, you have dealt with like the bottom end.
So
I've never heard this before. This is amazing.
So I'm saying to him, I'm just like, bro, I can't DJ on a DVD player. I'm looking at him thinking, like, yo, I know you don't have to. Everyone has to understand DJing, but I'm just like, surely common sense will tell you a DVD player isn't something DJs DJ off.
I am fully confused right now. Like, what is the guy's thought process here, bro?
So, like, the DVD player isn't even something you really can play CDs off. It's an option. It's a feature that's available.
Exactly.
And this isn't the time. This isn't now where some people like the technology has moved on. This is at the time where the DVD player and the CD player are the main source of technology for that. You play CDs to play music, you play tape to play music, you play DVDs to play DVDs.
To watch films, man.
Yeah.
How the hell do you even get audio out of a DVD player into a system in a club or a venue or whatever?
You need special wires to convert it, because most of them times, most DVD players only had a SCART lead.
Wow, SCART leads. Wow. And big chunky things like 100 pins in.
Fam, that's what was connected to the back of the CD. It was a SCART lead. So I'm looking at him.
Wow.
I'm saying to him, bro, a DVD player. And I'm looking at him and I keep saying it. And I don't think he's getting it. I'm just like, because he goes to college. He's not dumb. Like, he was taking a decent course, like economics or business or something like that. I'm like, bro, this is a DVD player. Like, I'm not super educated in like audio tech. I'm not a sound engineer. But I know that people don't be DJing on DVD players. And I'm looking at it, it's like, yeah, bro. And then he just walked away. He's like, yeah, man, I got to do something. I'm just like, okay, nothing that I'm going to say is going to explain to this man that I can't DJ off this. He really don't get it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a mix CD, and I put on a mix CD, slid it in the DVD player, press play. I was just like, yeah, bro, the equipment's a bit shaggy. I'll put on like a mix CD for you. And until like someone, because at this time, no one's there. Literally no one, like one person. And this is one person he knows. He's probably with him. So no one actually came. No one's there. And then the mix CD is playing. I'm just like, well, no one's here. So he can't be mad about what the job he's getting done, because he couldn't have done this. I don't even know what he was trying to do. And then I was just like, yeah, can I get my money? And then after all of that, after me agreeing £100 for the hour and a half, he was just like, oh, I've only got like £50. And he gave it me in like £30 in pound coins and pennies.
Oh, word.
So when he gave me the £30 in pound coins and pennies, I looked at it. And then I put it in my bag. I was just like, I said, yeah, I'm gonna get the rest to you, bro. Trust me. And I was just like, I just walked out. I just walked out.
Did you count it there and then?
No, I counted like half of it. So it was like he was meant to give me 50. He gave me like 29 and pennies and pounds and shit. I carried like 20. I carried like 28, 29. I was just like, yeah, I'm out. And then I left the mix CD playing, and I went home. I got my chicken and chip shop, and I just stayed up all night watching movies.
You should have taken a DVD player with you and then watched movies.
It's all part of the learning curve, man. Like I don't think I've had anything on close to that level, but I feel like when you're coming through, like you get a couple of buff ones in it. It's part of the learning curve, man. But to turn up to a DVD player with a fucking tower,
bro.
To be fair, when we bought Westwood for Jam, he bought a full tower.
You're lying. You're lying.
I
You're lying.
swear down. When we bought Westwood for Jam,
what year was this?
This could have been maybe about seven years ago.
That's not sounding long enough to me,
bro.
Laptops were definitely invented.
I swear down, bro. My man brought the tower, the full setup, everything. He had this raggedy mic set up. It all was all taped up and was in a certain position.
Wait. Did he have a mouse?
You know
he did use a mouse.
I think he might have had a mouse too.
Oh my god!
But my man, though, check this. When we booked him, he was like, "I've got to play for majority of the night." He was very adamant that he wanted to play the whole thing, and only because we kind of had this relationship with Westwood anyway. He was like, "Yeah, well, I don't mind you guys warming up for me." So you warm up, because I used to shadow Westwood on his show back in the day when he was doing one extra and when I was trying to get into the station. So kind of got custody with him there. So he was like, yeah, you guys warm up, but I want to play 12 till the end. So I was like, cool. Guy comes down at the start of the night, fucking power under his arm, like over the side, ready to go, bruv. I was like, this guy.
It's got the club looking like PC World.
The good thing about the booth at Jam was it was like,
wow.
It was like raised up at the back, and you had to go through a little side door, so you were like in like a shed kind of thing, and then there was a big cut out at the front, so like you could make it your own space. It was pretty like the setup.
Is that what you told him beforehand? Because he took you quite literally.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, bro, go in there, set up shop, mate. Do you think? Did
he bring his office chair?
Bro, I couldn't believe it, yeah. But to be fair, he shelled it though. Like he played all night. Like by the end of it, he flipping. My man just walks around the club for the last 15 minutes before the club closes, just giving out his mixtapes. Yep. Hitting up all the gal on the table. Yo, here's my new mix. Here's my thing. This, that. Like, I respect it though, but yeah, the tower thing, Feb, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, but he shelled it though. So I'm down. I'm here. Bro, as long as you do your job, mate.
Wow.
Interesting. Anyway,
I've never known that to happen. Well,
yeah. Westwood came with the full. He did the full rig. Well,
he always
whatever works for you, innit?
Or I say always, but he did very often do from the start of the night right through to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, he's not technically, when it comes to technical skills, he's not the greatest DJ.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100.
So I've always, and the other thing I noticed, because I saw him on several occasions quite close together, he does the same set. So his Serato was set up so that he can start at the top, track number 1,
right down,
go down to 2, 3, 4, and just select left, right. And there was a section where he has new hip hop. That was the only section that I noticed ever changed. Where like I just remember Meek Mill dropping a banger. And it was in Westwood's new section. It was like brand new, so he slotted it in there. But it always made me wonder why he does the whole night, because having his set up that way, there's no thinking involved. And by that I mean like he doesn't have to think, all right, shit, what am I going to do? Like, because I think generally about 3 tracks ahead of myself in where I'm going in terms of direction, right? So I've got the prepare folder there and I put them in. But his all prepared, so it's da-da-da-da-da. So it's like there's no thinking involved. He's not got the technical ability. He's just like a New York drop DJ. Do you know what I mean? Where he just kind of drops in. He doesn't mix. So I always wondered. And I wondered if it was a case of he wanted to control the flow of the night. So he wanted to make sure he was in control the whole night of when the peaked and when it dropped and when it came up and down. Or if he was just worried about a warm-up burying all the big hits and him not being able to draw for a different type of set and shell it down that way.
I think it's both, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a combination of things, man. I think in regards to what you said about the set and then just running through, it's Westwood. You don't need to think about changing the set on the fly because he's giving you what you're going to be expecting from a Westwood set. So if he's just running down his thing.
I've seen that work against his detriment once, though.
Okay.
One time he was doing one of the things at Box. So I've seen him do that set and it bang in terms of going from like he has his warm up calm, he runs it from start to night, it's bang. But there's one time where he had to run over time.
Right. And he's hit the end of the line.
Yeah, so he had to run over time. So he was paying for a 2-hour set and someone never came in. I don't know who it was. I think I don't know if it was a Branty before he got ill. Okay. It was I don't know if it was him. It was someone basically had to come in and do a set, but then Manny Norte had to come on. But Westwood, basically, it was the end of the night. R&B needed to play, but Westwood had no R&B in his set. So he went through hip hop, new and old. He went through dancehall and he went through Afrobeats and a bit of funky and grime. And after the 2-hour mark, when Manny Norte was someone was meant to go on after him, they never came. So then now there's like a half an hour space, and Westwood's not gone into anything else, and he's going over this either Afrobeats or hip hop or dancehall again. And because in that 2-hour space you've heard all of the dancehall, Afrobeats, and hip hop you will ever need to hear, in that half an hour space, I must have heard like I shit you not. There is one J Hus song I cannot remember that I definitely heard a minimum of 15 times.
Wow.
I promise you on my life.
That is outrageous.
The set up until that point was perfectly fine. It was the vibes. But that last half an hour where someone else was meant to came, where things crumbled. And because I've seen him play multiple times, I've never seen that happen. I was just like, raw. My only thought process was, because I wanted to hear R&B at that point, I was just like, yo, just Westwood play R&B. And then he kept playing dancehall, hip hop, and Afrobeats, dancehall, hip hop, and Afrobeats, dancehall, hip hop. I was just like, yo, I could do with some R&B right now, you know.
It's time for dessert.
I don't think R&B is really in Westwood's bag, because I think even when we warmed up for him, he actually said, don't stay away from the dancehall R&B, the dancehall, the Afro, and like the hip hop, but like all the R&B, the little galley bits, whatever, do you think? So like that's how we warmed up, and from then I was like, he's not in the R&B bag.
No, if it's not a popping hit, he kind of keeps away from R&B, and I realized this because when Manny Norte came on after, he filled in all the blanks, and I was just like, he just played general R&B from new to old, and I was like, bro, Westwood don't really play R&B unless it's like an actual banger. He's really in that hip hop, dancehall, and Afrobeats bag, like, and I was just like, it got annoying because I can't remember what J Hus song it was, but I was like, I had to tap my boy at the time. I was like, yo, boy, I was like, bro, I must be going mad, like, because obviously as DJs we're overcritical, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But when it got past 5 times, and I was just like, bro, there's surely no way. And we're both laughing. I was just like, I'm gonna count. So I started counting. I was just like, bro, I'm not mad. It might have been 19, but minimum 15.
No, this guy. I reckon he's mocking it. You know,
back.
So he's mocking it.
No. What it was,
I can't be legit.
He was playing different vibes, and he kept going back to that one song, but it happened minimum 15 times.
Right.
And it was, but in fairness to him, he's older. He, you know, the mind might not be as sharp, and it was more so a spur of the moment set. And it just showed me that he's not an R&B guy. That's more so what I took out of that.
Yeah,
I think I think Westwood, he just knows his strengths as well, man. Hip hop is his thing. The Afrobeat and the dancehall is for the galley, like we know that, and then the mic stuff, like that's his bag. So like, why he don't really need to stray away from that too much. But there you go.
Yeah, but that's the only time I've seen it gone against him. But yeah, that time will stick out in my head. It makes me know that regardless of what you've got planned, it's happened to me one time. Funny enough, because you see, Dubl, was you there at you was there at the second Western show? You wasn't there at the first one, was you? No, in fact,
the one that got locked off.
Yeah, so the first one, sorry, it's the first one you was at the second one.
Yeah, that's when I saw you there, yeah.
So that happened to me then. I was meant to play for specifically 40 minutes, but then obviously when we're getting close to the final 40 minutes, I'm winding up. They've told me another 20 minutes. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like,
it does throw you off when that stuff happens, because unless you're telling me in advance, like I need to know, like if the club's closing at 3, but they say 3:20, I need to know by like 2:15.
Yeah.
If I've got to extend and make sure that I'll plan this thing out properly. Do you know what I mean? It throws you off.
100%. But what made it worse was they've told me that, and they've told me, oh yeah, no mic. So the person that was hosting has obviously stopped hosting. So it's like, that's happened. I'm just like, damn, now I'm just coasting. If they would have told me this 5 minutes earlier, I would have just saved what I had saved. But it wasn't a bad set. But yeah, I've definitely been in that situation. So I understand where Westwood went wrong. It was just the one song I kept hearing over and over again.
I don't want to hear Jay Huss again.
Yeah, it is always a struggle, but it's one of those things. There is so much music out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to play a song 15 times.
No.
Yeah, that's
ever.
Never.
Ever. It's not needed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yo, boys, I feel like we could sit here and chat shit all day, you know.
Well, to be honest, I had a break. I had a break halfway through.
Yeah, you had a break. I've got a meeting in 20 minutes. Yeah, man. I got a meeting in 20 minutes. Well, we're 2.5 hours in, bruv. This is one of our longest episodes. Bear in mind, we're going to have to do bare editing because I don't know whose internet has been moving suspect today. I don't know if it's Dubl's or, to be fair, Dubl, when you bounced, we had no glitches.
Oh, yeah, it's probably me then. Probably is me.
It's a bit sticky.
I'll take it. I'll take that one.
Bit sticky. But yo, Donch, man, big up for coming on, bruv. Like,
bro, I'm here.
We tried to make it work about 6 months ago, but we got back here again.
Finally there. I'm glad we got you on, man. But there's so many other stories and so many other things to unpack. So we're going to have to definitely do a Donch part 2.
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
Bro, anytime you want, because for me, I'm never too shy to talk about DJ shit, man. I got the time of day for you, man.
Love that, my bro. Yeah, this is what we do, bruv. We're just chilled. We just talk DJ crud. So what we're here for, man. Episode 108.
108.
I swear.
Under the belt, yes, sir.
3 years.
3 years in, man.
108 episodes. I know you're trying to do the maths and be like, that's not one every week.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Yeah. We are the most consistent podcast in the DJ universe.
But it's needed, man. Really keep it up, because for me, I'm in and out with podcasts, but every now and then, so I was listening to the Shayna one, like whatever that was.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was recently, man.
So yeah, man. So
great episode.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I feel like now, like after we passed like episode 100, like we're in the bag now. Like we're talking about consistency. It's took 100 episodes to like get it to where we need to, and like you say, we're 3 years in now. We started this before it became the cool thing to do.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
True.
For every motherfucker now there's 1,000,001 DJ podcasts, but we was here first.
Is there?
Nah, there's a couple still.
I didn't even know. Really? I thought you man was still the only one.
Nah, there's a couple popping up, but when they realize how much work goes into these things, they just fall by the wayside rapid.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I feel like with you, man, you're a good mix in the same way, similar to myself, of different spaces. So you're aware of different scenes, and so that sometimes with some of the DJs I know, when they talk about music stuff, they're only aware of one side. So you're in Manny, you're closer to London, and you're both in similar but separate worlds. You know what I mean? But you both, as DJs, especially you stylists, you really pay attention to a lot of the DJs coming up, and then essentially, yeah, man. Because like I give you examples, so like someone like so like even someone like Scotty B, there's bare man I know who don't even know who he is.
Mad.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just like you are in a good place. So it's like, yeah, keep it up.
That's love, man. Yeah, we try and keep our ears to the ground, and it does work. And I feel like even like lockdown's been here, the podcast has benefited because it's allowed us to be able to get like, it's way easier to just connect and get people on here than it is trying to lock people down. And like you say, when everything goes back to 100 miles an hour again, we'll still be able to just get guests on Zoom. I feel like this Zoom is a thing now. It was obviously around before lockdown, but now I didn't know about Zoom before lockdown, bro. I had no idea. It's amazing.
But the other thing is as well, where work and certain other things, especially for me, like in lockdown 1, all of my face-to-face interviews got cancelled. All of my club work got cancelled. So suddenly I have all this time. Do you know what I mean? Like, so there's all this time. So then it was like, okay, well, let's really focus on the podcast. Whereas before, the podcast was a joint thing that we're doing, but we're mainly focused on our own solo shit. Do you know what I mean? But like now through lockdown, it's been like, okay, this has become like a high priority because it was the one thing that we could just do. And we actually managed to find a formula that's not face to face. It means I don't have to drive 85 days to get to Manchester to record a podcast. We don't have to wait for a week to send video files to each other. It's all just here. Do you know what I mean? So
not necessarily, man. Those are DJ stories are unspoken, so keep up the good work.
Yeah, real talk. That's what we need to grow. That's it, man. I know there's bare stories that we haven't even unraveled on this podcast yet.
We're unlocking them slowly but surely.
Yeah, trust me. Mad. Yo, Donch, man, hit us up with your socials, bro, for when you start rolling out this fire content. So, we're waiting patiently, eagerly.
So I'll be back online soon, man. I'm just kind of working behind the scenes, you know. So that's, I think, what, Donch DJ on everything. That's DEEJAY. It could be Donch Music on some. I can't remember. It's pretty inconsistent, but one of the two, either Donch Music or Donch DJ on everything.
I respect that honesty, man. The guy don't even know his handles.
One of the two, you'll find me. If you type in Donch, the only Donch that should come up. Yeah, so there is that, but Donch DJ on everything usually, if not Donch Music. Yeah. Sick.
Yo, Donch, big up your chest, bro. Thank you for your time, bruv. Appreciate you, man. Guys, make sure you plug in, yeah. As usual, at Talkover Pod, Instagram, Twitter. Will be out audio on Spotify, Apple Music, visual on YouTube, as always. You know what it is.